He got him. He struck out the side. Deep to left field. You've got to be kidding me. Carlos Correa greeting his former teammates before the game. Unfortunately, Correa will not play in this three-game series between the Astros and Minnesota Twins. Carlos, with that injured finger, just goes on the IL today. They think it's going to be the minimum stay on the IL, but not quite healing from that right finger injury that he suffered last week. But he did get a chance to catch up with a lot of the Astros before the game. We welcome you on a beautiful Tuesday evening inside Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Both teams come in with a record of 18-11. The Astros a perfect 7-0 on that last homestand. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Glad you could join us for another night of Astros baseball. And Blummer, a chance for the Astros to carry over some momentum from that home stretch.
Yeah, they had yesterday to enjoy it a little bit. Kind of a fun flight getting in here. Hopefully the guys have settled down and continue with their winning ways.
If you want a guy to set the tone for a 9-game road trip, you'd want to start with Justin Verlander, the way he's pitching this year.
Yeah, we already talked about it. He is the ace of the staff. And I think what's interesting is we need to stop talking about the Tommy John surgery and remember that he won a Cy Young in 2019. So nothing has really changed other than he took 2 years off and now he's back being the Astros ace. The numbers he is putting up have been absolutely incredible. 6+ innings, 2 earned runs or less in 4 of the last 5 starts. He has gone out there and continued the success that he's had and also understanding that he is a leader in this rotation.
He's pitching against a team he's very familiar with in the Minnesota Twins for all those years in Detroit. And when you look at his AL starter ranks this year on the road, he is right at the top.
No, it's incredible. 3 of his 5 starts have been on the road. The .90 ERA is absolutely incredible. He knows when he comes into a building that the opposing team knows exactly who he is and exactly what you're going to get. And this guy does not care. He continues to come at you with the fastball elevated, the power slider down and in, gets swings and misses from both left-handers and right-handers.
We mentioned the Astros victorious on that homestand, a perfect 7-0. You have to go all the way back to 1987, the last time the Astros had an undefeated homestand of that many games. The Twins, meanwhile, have won 9 in a row here at Target Field. They're playing great baseball in 2022.
It's a lot of fun to play here, but you know that the Astros hit the ball extremely well here in Minneapolis, so hopefully they can continue to do the same thing against a tough pitcher in Joe Ryan.
Yeah, Joe Ryan on the mound today facing Justin Verlander. Similar repertoires.
Yeah, he's going to be fastballs elevated in the zone, the slider down to right-handed hitters. When you get on that left side, you're going to see a couple more change-ups mixed in there. This is a guy who burst onto the scene for the Minnesota Twins and has done a very good job. He's been very consistent, likes to work fast. We're going to check out a couple of arm angles and talk about his spin rates also.
So Joe Ryan against Justin Verlander to kick off this 3-game series and 9-game road trip. When we come back, Julie Morales will tell us about the Astros being homer happy on that last homestand.
We're back in Minneapolis here for a 3-game set between the Astros and the Twins, and the Astros come in rolling, winning 7 straight games and feeling pretty good about the way that they did it. We didn't see them yesterday. They had a well-deserved off day. The day before, we saw them shut out the Tigers 5-0, 5 runs on 2 home runs. Remember, Aledmus Diaz going with a grand slam and Alex Bregman with a solo shot on Mother's Day for Mama Breg. A couple of home runs in that game is what we've seen from these Astros a lot here lately. Remember, it was a slower start offensively and really offense not where they want it to be, but we have seen an uptick in the long ball lately for this group. They've hit 7 home runs in their last 4 games. Those were all against the Tigers at Minute Maid Park there. Astros with 1.5 home runs per game is actually most in the American League. Half of their runs this season coming off the home run as well. We saw Jose Altuve have 3 in a 5-game stretch. Jordan Alvarez leading the team with 8. Jeremy Pena have a couple on the homestand. So they're hoping to continue that here in Minnesota. They're hoping to continue their winning ways here in Minnesota. Last time we were on the road, we saw Jordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker get rolling. Altuve continue what he did when he returned from the IL. It's all coming up next here from Minnesota. First pitch is next.
Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B. Buy Rooms to Go. Get one-stop shopping plus decorating made easy. That's Rooms to Go. And by Fubo TV. Stream the Astros on AT&T Sportsnet with Fubo TV. Visit FuboTV.com for a free trial. We welcome you inside Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a perfect night for baseball. Temperature in the mid-60s. It's been sunny all day. Astros ready to kick off a 3-city, 9-game road trip with the first of 3 against the Twins. It is a Tuesday night, which means it's Twitter Tuesday. Tonight's topic is rule changes, both already happening in Major League Baseball, such as the extra inning runner on second base, thoughts on the universal DH, pitch clock, also what might come in the future with pitch clocks or bigger bases in the minor leagues being tested out. That'll be tonight's Twitter Tuesday topic. Send your tweets using the hashtag Stros Tuesday to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Here's the Astros starting lineup, presented by Texas Children's Hospital with Jose Altuve. Great numbers at Target Field. Leading off at second base, Michael Brantley in left field, Alex Bregman in third. Yordan Alvarez will DH. Yuli Gurriel plays first base and hits fifth. Kyle Tucker will bat sixth in right field. Then Chas McCormick in center field. Jeremy Pena at shortstop. Martin Maldonado behind the plate, batting ninth.
Right-hander Joe Ryan's going for the Minnesota Twins. He is off to an electric start this season, also in his career. Doing a very good job. Only 10 starts in his big league career, but this season through 5 starts is 3-1 with a 1.63. The big number that jumps out is really that whip number, well under 1, with 28 strikeouts to 7 walks. Came over from the Tampa Bay Rays in that Nelson Cruz trade last season.
Astros coming off back-to-back winning road trips, trying to make it 3 in a row. And last road trip, it was really a 2-man gang. The combination of Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez carried the way on that road trip into Texas, Arlington, and Toronto. But then at home, it was Jose Altuve that came off the IL and helped propel the Astros to a 7-0 homestand.
Yeah, at some point, all of these guys are going to be firing at the same time, but it is nice to get that help to win some ball games when you do need it, when other guys aren't doing their thing. But that homestand, Jose Altuve turned right back into Jose Altuve after coming off the injured list with that hamstring issue. A couple of mechanical alterations, I would say, to the swing have really opened things up for him, and that barrel's flying through the zone.
Astros' first road trip of the year, they went 5-4 on a 3-city trip, and then 4-3 on the last road trip. Now kicking off another 3-city trip. This will be 3 out of 4 3-city trips to start the season, as they will have 3 games here in Minnesota. They will have 3 games against the Nationals over the weekend, and then 3 games against Boston without an off day. Yesterday, their only off day in the span of 34 days. So the Astros went 12-5 in the first 17 games without an off day, and now they'll play 16 in a row, all starting tonight. Right-hander Joe Ryan's ready to go, so is Jose Altuve, and we are underway with a swing and a miss at a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Altuve hit in 6 of those 7 games on the homestand. He has a 6-game hitting streak, batting .474 during that time with a 1337 OPS. Ryan gets ahead 0-2. Here's a look at Joe Ryan, 25-year-old from Marin County, California, just on the other side of the bridge from San Francisco. Makes his 6th start of 2022 and his 11th career start. He was acquired from Tampa Bay last year when Nelson Cruz was sent to the Rays. At the time, he was pitching for Team USA in the Olympics. And got a couple of minor league outings in. The Twins were pretty much out of it at that point late in the season, so he ended up getting 5 starts last year and now a part of their rotation. Altuve reaches out and fouls the fastball, stays 1-2. We're seeing 93, 94 early on from Joe Ryan, but he's usually been a guy around 91, 92.
Yeah, his average velocity, according to Inside Edge, is 92 miles an hour. Maybe a little juiced up for this matchup. Got Justin Verlander on the other side.
And that's not a bad guy to have go against you in terms of increasing that adrenaline. He likes to throw a lot of 0-2 and 1-2 sliders as he misses to Altuve down and away. It counts 2-2. Ryan facing the Astros for the first time. Only one Astro has at bats against Ryan, and he is not starting today. Nico Goodrum last year with the Tigers faced Joe Ryan. That fastball misses wide, says home plate umpire and crew chief Bill Welke. It's now a 3-2 count on Altuve. Altuve, since that hitting streak started, raised his batting average 105 points from 154 to 259. Ground ball slowly hit to the young shortstop Royce Lewis, playing for the injured Carlos Correa. And Lewis makes the play on Altuve for out number 1.
No Player Does More is presented by HEB. Michael Brantley, guess what? This is another place that he goes out and rakes. 14 for 24 with Houston here at Target Field. It's a .583 batting average. On base 64% of the time, and he is slugging at a .792 clip. That is a monster OPS. But Michael Brantley, another team that he's swinging the bat well against. Spent a lot of time playing against these Minnesota Twins when he was a part of the Cleveland Indians at the time.
And as the Twins start this at bat with Brantley, they actually have their shortstop Royce Lewis on the third base side of second. Brantley often sees shifts when he bats with nobody on. But at least for the first pitch, he doesn't have the shift.
I feel like he often sees shifts in the first game of the series.
This ball sent pretty well to left center field, but playable for Gilberto Celestino. The center fielder makes the play for out number 2.
The scouting report is driven by your Greater Houston Honda dealer. Joe Ryan, pitch usage this season against left-handed hitters. He's going to bring that curveball and changeup and let up on that slider a little bit, but you can see on the right-handed side, a lot of right-handed hitters in this lineup for the Astros are going to see fastball, slider, and again, the fastball location is going to be up, and he's very good at getting to the glove side with both those pitches.
That slider percentage to right-hand hitters, third highest in all of baseball at 51%, as he starts off Bregman with a fastball for a strike. Alex, like Michael Brantley, has done most of his damage this season at home this year. Coming in batting .235 with a team leading 17 RBIs, tied with Kyle Tucker in that category, and a team leading 16 runs scored, tied with Yordan Alvarez and Jeremy Pena in that category. There is that slider for a strike, and Bregman down on the count 1-2. Up the outside corner. Ryan Jeffers held it there for an extra beat. It's 2-2.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of glove movement from Ryan Jeffers. Modern day catcher likes to frame things up, but this is a little egregious. On our MD Anderson strike zone, you can see off that outside corner.
Same spot. And Welke keeps calling them correctly. They're off the edge. It's 3-2. Alex with 17 walks, tied for 4th in the American League in that category.
That's something that Joe Ryan doesn't do too much as walk hitters. He attacks the zone, fills it up with strikes. How about it?
And he yanks the last 3 fastballs outside to Alex Bregman, who draws his 18th walk of the year. Leads the team in that category, now 1 more than the guy who's coming to the plate, Yordan Alvarez. Yordan drew 4 walks the last couple of games of the homestand. Didn't have any hits in those 2 games, but he did draw walks on Sunday a couple of times and on Saturday twice as well. Yordan sends one high and deep, but foul down the left field line. Yordan leading the team with 8 home runs. 4th in the American League in that category. He's got a couple of Yankees ahead of him and a Minnesota Twin ahead of him. Byron Buxton is not in the lineup tonight, recovering from a little bit of a hip issue. But he has 9 home runs. Anthony Rizzo and Aaron Judge also with 9 home runs for the Yankees. Jordan with a count of 1-1. Bregman drew a 2-out walk. Just underway at Target Field in Minneapolis. First of 3 between 2 teams with identical records, 18 and 11. Ground ball foul. The 18 and 11 record is good enough for the Twins to lead the AL Central by 3 games over the Chicago White Sox. But in the AL West, the 18 and 11 record is only good for 2nd place. The Astros 1 game behind the Los Angeles Angels. Angels have the 2nd best record in the American League. That one fouled out of play. So Jordan staying alive here, down to the count.
You've seen fastballs and changeups. Again, these extended at bats in the first inning against a guy you haven't seen before is always beneficial later on in the ball game. But credit Joe Ryan for not making a mistake out over the plate.
Bounces in there, 2-2. Jordan in his career .345 against the Twins with 3 home runs, 10 for 29. The Astros have made Ryan work a little bit here in the first inning. Swing and a miss. Alvarez goes down on a fastball. Ryan picks up his first strikeout. A walk, 1 man left on base. Justin Verlander to the mound for the bottom of the first.
Justin Verlander pitching here at Target Field, making his 6th start of the season, 5 starts in. Great numbers for JV, 3-1 with a 1.93, and his whip better than Joe Ryan's at .70. Right here at Target Field, he carries a 2.39 ERA in 12 starts at Target Field.
There's the lineup he will face this evening, with Max Kepler leading off in right field, followed by Jose Miranda over at first base. Gary Sanchez gets the start as the DH. Jorge Polanco at second base. Gio Urshela bats 5th and plays 3rd. Royce Lewis the shortstop. Alex Kirilloff is in left field batting 7th. Ryan Jeffers behind the plate, and Gilberto Celestino playing center field and batting 9th. Kepler with more at bats against Verlander than anybody else in the lineup, and it's been advantage JV so far in their head-to-head matchups as Kepler fouls one out of play. Max just 1 for 18 with 7 strikeouts against Verlander. Kepler coming in batting .244. Second on the team with those 5 home runs as he fouls one away. It's 0-2. Never mentioned Verlander's faced these Minnesota Twins quite often. 253 2/3 innings worth over his career. A 20-10 record in 38 starts. Still 0-2. Okay. Swing and a miss. Verlander starts the night with a strikeout of Max Kepler. Kepler goes down for out number 1.
That was a slider. It was up. Still able to get the strike out of him on our Andy Anderson strike zone. You can see that just slight little movement up in the zone, fooling Max Kepler to start this game. Matches from Supermo sees that release point. You can see that spin. That has been a great pitch for Verlander over the years.
Bring up Jose Miranda. Miranda first pitch swinging, pops one high in the air. Martin Maldonado doesn't have to move very far from his position behind home plate. That is out number 2. 1 pitch, 1 out for Miranda. The Astros starting defense is presented by Xfinity. You've got Maldonado catching Justin Verlander today. On the infield, Yuli Gurriel and Jose Altuve on the right side. Jeremy Pena and Alex Bregman on the left side. Michael Brantley back out there in left field. He's had half of his starts in left and half of his starts as the DH. Chas McCormick opens up the series in center field, and Kyle Tucker will be in right. Here's a former Yankee, Gary Sanchez, who's DHing tonight. His first pitch swinging sends one deep to left. Brantley on the move, and he makes a great diving catch. Michael Brantley. Justin Verlander with the applause into the glove on his way back to the dugout as Uncle Mike stole one from Sanchez.
Uncle Mike had to have his track shoes on early, got there in plenty of time, laying out, making a great catch to pick up Justin Verlander.
Space City is go for launch. The new Astros City Connect uniforms are here. Head to the Astros team store to get your gear and see the new jerseys in action every Monday. Experience Space City. Find your tickets today at astros.com/Space City. TK?
Julia, how happy are you? May 10th in Minneapolis. You had to think it was a possibility for JMI.
I'm happier than Alex Bregman, who packed for freezing temperatures. So all he had when he woke up this morning were sweaters and long sleeve shirts. No, it's beautiful here.
It's amazing. You are right.
I don't even know what to do with myself. It's so perfect outside.
So Breggy didn't look at any forecasts, apparently.
No. It's on the itinerary, all.
Oh, back that bus up.
Yuli Gurriel after a day off on Sunday, and then the scheduled day off yesterday, batting here to lead off the second inning. And there's a line drive base hit for Yuli. That bat goes flying away. That snaps an 0 for 13 as Yuli with a base hit into right center. That had to feel great.
Please let that be a big beginning for Yuli Gurriel to get things going. He needs those knocks. Guess you could be aggressive against a guy like Joe Ryan. You know you're going to get a fastball at some point in the count. This is a good fastball on that glove side that we talked about, and Yuli put a beautiful swing on it, hitting a line drive over the second baseman's head.
So that'll bring up Kyle Tucker. Tucker continues to have great road numbers on the year. There you see his road average 293 compared to 238 overall. Still really good his last 17 games with a 339 average in that stretch. Tucker takes a look at a changeup outside for ball 1. So Yuli with a base hit here to start the second inning. Tucker leads the team in at-bats with 101 at-bats. Michael Brantley just had his 100th at-bat of the season, and Bregman is at 98. So guys starting to get to that century mark in the total at-bats for the season. Jose Altuve is a little shy after being on the IL. Tucker sees another changeup. He misses this one, and the count's 1-1. Ryan out of high school was a 39th round draft pick of the Giants, did not sign. Attended Cal State Northridge for 3 years. He was injured in his junior year, ended up transferring to a Division II school, Cal State Stanislaus, in his senior year. And that's where he was eventually drafted in the 7th round by the Tampa Bay Rays. With the Rays until last year. July 22nd trade coming to Minnesota, and now he has found a home with the Twins. Keep shooting that outside edge against Astros hitters with 2 strikes, but he's been just off the plate. It's 2-2. That hit by Yuli off the fastball just hit number 6 on the year against Joe Ryan's fastball. He was 5 for 45 against the fastball coming in as he throws Tucker a changeup here. Tuck with 17 RBIs on the year. Takes one in the dirt. It gets by the catcher. Yuli couldn't see it cleanly. I think Tuck might have screened him out from his spot at first base, so he didn't get a great jump.
Yeah, that was a tough angle from where he was at first base. Good decision, too. Nobody out in the inning. You don't want to force it unless you're 100% sure at second base, especially with as well as Tucker swings the bat on the road.
Off the plate, ball 4. That'll be 2 walks issued by Joe Ryan in the first 2 innings. And the Astros have 2 runners aboard now as Gurriel moves to second. First start of the year against Seattle, Ryan walked 4, but he's only walked a total of 3 in his next 4 starts combined until tonight with 2 walks.
And he's a guy that's normally around that 70% strike range, really just filling up the zone with all of his pitches. Just kind of turned into a little bit of a nibbler here in the first couple of innings, and the Astros taking advantage of it by taking those walks.
Well, Chas McCormick sends a fly ball into center field. Celestino has it lined up. Yuli's going to tag and head to third. The throw heads to third, and Yuli slides in safely. Nice job by Yuli getting the extra 90 feet there, getting to third base with less than 2 outs.
Feeling good after that base knock. Thought that ball was deep enough for him to go back and tag on and move himself 90 feet closer. Made a good choice right here. You can make the judgment for yourself. They did check to see if he had left early with second base umpire Dan Merzel. They did not get the call. He said he left appropriately on time. Bill Welke just launched one into second base.
New baseball for Joe Ryan to face Jeremy Pena. Pena will bat with runners on first and third and 1 out. Tied for the American League lead among shortstops with 15 RBIs and leads all AL shortstops with 6 home runs. Twins with the infield back here with Yuli at third base and Tucker at first.
How about some of the outfield arms here for the Minnesota Twins? Celestino in center has got that red light. Made a good throw trying to get Yuli. It actually came in at 93.3 miles an hour. You're going to test Kepler if he moves left or right, and then green light out there and left if Jeremy Pena is able to pull one to Kirilloff. One of the lower velocity arms in that outfield.
Byron Buxton not in the lineup today. We mentioned Correa went on the injured list. Rocco Baldelli, their manager, has been dealing with COVID issues, so bench coach Jace Tingler has been managing the team the last few days. Managing them again tonight. There goes Tucker, ground ball towards short. They're going to stay out of a double play with that runner on the move. That's an RBI ground out for Jeremy Pena as Yuli will score. It's 1-0 Astros.
Remember the other day when I asked Joe Espada about playing small ball? There's a little bit of small ball right there. Tucker is on the move. This was not a hit and run. I believe it was a steal attempt because Tucker does such a good job, but in doing so does stay out of that double play and allows that run to cross for the Houston Astros. Good play all the way around. Good read by Yuli too.
Pena drives in his 16th run of the year. That'll bring up Martin Maldonado with Tucker on second and 2 outs. Maldi takes a strike. Quality in his 21st start of the season for the Astros. The team is 14-6 in his first 20 starts of the year. And he fouls this one back. It's 0-2. Once Ryan gets to 0-2 to right-hand hitters, that slider is thrown 72% of the time. 1-2, it's 0-2 at 74% of the time. 1-2 at 72% of the time. So you'll see a slider here at some point, as the 0-2 pitch is a slider sent in the air to center field. Celestino puts it away for out number 3. But the Astros on the board. Yuli Gurriel led it off with a single, came around to score on the ground out by Pena. It's 1-0.
We welcome you back. Astros with a 1-0 lead early on in this one. And our dugout report presented by Jack in the Box is talking about Justin Verlander, who gets back to work here. That last time out, going 6 2/3 against the Seattle Mariners, he threw 101 pitches, hitting that century mark for the first time since having Tommy John surgery. And for him, he said that was a very big deal. He said a couple of days later that his elbow felt very good following that. Wanted to see how it was going to respond. Everything continues to be positive on the progression for JV. Next thing for him would be pitching every 5th day when it's time for the Astros to go to a 5-man rotation. Not just yet, but that would be the next box for him to check. He's still getting used to the way his arm feels as well. Said he has some soreness when he didn't have it before. All very normal according to doctors and therapists. He's just not used to it. And what he said, TK, is that his new elbow is like testing out a new car throughout this entire process.
And the new car has been handling the road pretty well. He has been on point with that fastball slider combination, making start number 6 on the year. It's been a high performance vehicle in 2022. Somebody with a lower.
Yeah, I mean, did he trade in a Lamborghini for a Bugatti? What happened here? That's not a bad deal.
No. But I get what he's saying when you have one of those new cars, not that I've ever had one, that maybe Justin has sampled before. Kind of want to test it out. You don't want to push it.
Say you want to go, but you got to temper yourself a little bit.
Swing and a miss. He challenged Jorge Polanco with a 2-1 fastball and beats him. It's 2-2. Polanco's been the hottest Twins hitter lately, 9-game hitting streak. Well-placed fastball on the outside corner. Polanco 2 for 11 in his career against JV with a home run. This one off the plate, 3-2. Verlander only needed 6 pitches to get through the Twins in the first inning. He will throw a 6th pitch of this at bat to Polanco. It'll be Polanco, then Gio Urshela, and Royce Lewis. This one hit high to right field, sending Tucker all the way back. He is looking for it through the sunshine, and he puts it away. Little splashes of sunshine in the warning track and in shallow center field, and Tucker makes the play for out number 1.
Good adjustment by Tuck. Where he plays, he's in the shadow. But as he drifted back there, you can see the sunlight coming into play. Did a good job of putting the glove up in the right spot and making the grab.
A little bit earlier start out here, 6:40 start Central Time. As Gio Urshela takes a pitch for a strike. Urshela, part of that same trade as Gary Sanchez on March 22nd with the New York Yankees. Gets that call off the edge. It's now 0-2. Justin will take that all night long. It was Sanchez and Urshela for Josh Donaldson, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Ben Rortvedt. Sanchez and Urshela in the lineup tonight. Gio has been playing third base on a regular basis. He's got an 8-game hitting streak going, just one shy of Polanco, hitting .379 during that stretch. The Twins team that's been playing very good baseball, especially here at Target Field. 9 straight wins inside Target Field. Coming off a sweep of the Oakland A's over the weekend. All those games were very low scoring against Oakland. Minnesota winning 2-1 on Friday, 1-0 on Saturday, and 4-3 in Sunday's victory. Kind of the theme all around baseball, low scoring, close games. This ball slicing down the right field line. Tucker gives it a look, and he can't make the play. Great effort by Tuck. He went up on top of that wall to try and make the catch, but it's in the stands.
Throwing his body around out there and right. Ball twisting away from him off the right-handed hitter, but gave it a good leap. I really feel like the way that these stadiums have been padded up, protecting players, it allows them the freedom to be a little more aggressive on some of these plays when you get towards the boundaries.
Little tapper. Bregman's going to have to hustle. He'll barehand that ball. What a play. Alex decided to go barehand to get Gio Urshela.
Put a little extra salsa on that one. He had to hustle in and make sure he got there before that ball hit the ground. He catches this one in midair, which allowed him to be able to make a little bit better grab on it. But that was a phenomenal barehand play, charging in.
It is rare to see somebody barehand one on the infield dirt. It's usually charging all the way in on the grass.
And it's usually Omar Vizquel.
Yeah. This is Royce Lewis. Swings and fouls one back. Very nice play for Breggy. It looked like he changed his mind as he was going after that ball and decided to barehand it the last second.
Well, I think he was going to go with the glove because I bet, granted it's tough for us to see the angle, but I think that hop changed on him a little bit, and that's why he went with that bare hand.
Lewis 3 for 10 in his young career, batted 9th and twice in the 7th spot against the Oakland A's. Now up to the 6th spot tonight. You can see the #1 overall pick in 2017, now just 22 years old. Lewis missed last year due to injury, tore his right ACL. Just recalled Friday when Carlos Correa injured his hand. Now getting a little bit of a chance to play on a regular basis at shortstop with Correa going on the IL.
Yeah, Royce Lewis is out of a high school. Jay Serra down in Southern California. It was just up the street from where I lived before I became a Houstonian. Heard a lot about him in high school. Great kid. Very good ball player also, obviously #1 pick for the Minnesota Twins in 2017, and now he's here facing Justin Verlander.
Verlander picks up his 2nd strikeout. Another 1-2-3 inning for Verlander. He's retired the first 6 tonight. Astros lead 1-0.
Let's take a look at today's Chevy Stroh poll. That's kind of scaring me right there. Predict which of the following is most likely to happen for the Astros tonight. Will Jordan homer? Will Brantley get 3 hits? Or Justin Verlander strike out 10? Vote, and we'll have results later. Don't you think he was kind of intense in that shot?
That is the look of a player replaying his at-bat in his head. That's exactly what that is. He was probably thinking about one of the changeups he missed and one fastball.
Jordan striking out his first time up. About 4th in this inning if his spot gets there. Jose Altuve will lead things off. Well, Bunko Mike's going to get some votes. He'll be due up 2nd in this inning. He probably needs to get one here since he flied out to center his first time up. Tough to get 3 hits if you start over 2, although Mike gets hits by the bunches here at Target Field. Had a couple of 4-hit games last year. Altuve with a 1-1 count. He grounded out his first time up. Second time around facing Joe Ryan. We heard a lot of scouting reports on this young right-hander in his first full season at the big league level. They say his fastball sometimes, because of that arm slot, plays much faster than that 91 or 92. And He gets his share of swings and misses on that fastball. Today the Astros have struck out just once, first time through the lineup, and that was Jordan. As Plummer was saying, thinking about that changeup last time around. 3-1 now on Altuve. And Jose pops the foul out of play. Ryan, a guy who grew up playing baseball just during baseball season, but year round he was a water polo player out there in Northern California. Said that water polo background's actually helped him as a pitcher. When you use that upper body to throw the ball as hard as possible in water polo, you have to get full extension. He feels like he's got that little extra carry because of that background in water polo. He's good enough to get drafted in high school and in college again, now at the big league level. And he is, unfortunately for him and good for the Astros, struggling with his command today. He has walked 3. That's the same number of walks he allowed in the 4 previous starts total. Twitter Tuesday. What rules, questions do you have for us tonight? Nathaniel saying, I like the universal DH. It gives guys who are primarily a DH or a guy who gets a little older a spot on all 30 teams instead of just half of the teams. Also forces pitchers in the NL to pitch to a full lineup instead of just 7 or 8 batters.
You don't need us. That's just a quality use of all 240 characters.
You know what's interesting, as much as we've talked about the lack of scoring around baseball,
it's because of the universal DH.
I mean, there's the universal DH now.
We added extra hitter and we're not scoring more runs.
So it's
even
even
crazy to think about.
It's even more drastic, right? You had a DH to the NL and scoring still down. We do see a few more crooked numbers tonight, but for the most part.
Well, you just hope that, you know, a month under your belt, or, you know, you're starting to get to those 100 at bats or more for hitters. Hopefully they're starting to get their legs under them, get their timing down a little bit, and they can start competing a little bit better against some of the great pitchers in this league. But at the same time, we're in Minnesota May 10th, and it's 70, 75 degrees at game time. That's a huge difference, too, for a lot of hitters, knowing that they don't have to wear long sleeves or wear insulated batting gloves. They can go out there, start swinging freely, work up a little bit of a lather.
There's a strike on Brantley. It's 1-1. The Astros bats on that last road trip were primarily just the 2 lefties, the 24-year-old Alvarez, the 25-year-old Tucker, leading the way on that last 4-3 road trip. Astros won 3 out of 4 in Arlington against the Rangers, then 1 out of 3 in Toronto. Michael sends a foul out of play. It's 1-2. Brantley leads the team with 27 hits. He has the highest batting average of anybody in the lineup. Normally you would think the highest batting average for the Astros a month in would be around 300 or better, but 270 is the highest batting average for anybody in the lineup. Brantley has seen a steady diet of changeups in this AB. Lofted into shallow center field. Celestino will come on and make the play. Brantley retired for out number 1. More on Twitter Tuesday. How do you guys feel about the ABS system, the automated balls and strike system? Do you think it will be implemented by MLB, and if so, by when?
I'm not a fan, but I do believe it'll be implemented. It's going to be a while down the road, because there's got to be some severe adjustments made to that strike zone just been watching some of the Atlantic League where they do use the ABS system, the automated balls and strikes, is you're watching balls in the dirt. If you throw a good snap hook, curveball, if you get Colin McHugh, if you give Colin McHugh a ABS strike zone, he's going to strike you out on balls in the dirt all night long because that curveball is going to snap in front of the plate. So I think there needs to be a little bit of an adjustment to that strike zone if you're going to implement it at the big league level, or else you're going to get a lot of young players saying, you know what, I don't want to play baseball if that's going to be the strike zone.
No, I tend to agree with you. It's a three-dimensional plate, and you have to have some parameters for how long the ball is over the plate. It can't just be a portion of the baseball hits a portion of the plate for 1/1000th of that plate.
Yeah, it can't be just a seam catching an edge.
It has to be over the plate for, I don't know what the parameter is, 2/3 of the plate or half of the plate, and it has to be at least half the baseball for me. I think there needs to be some tweaks to it, because you're right, you're going to have pitches in the dirt, you're going to have pitches drop from the top of the zone that's going to be at the guy's shoulder,
coming back
at the
down,
front of the plate, that are going to be a strike at the back of the plate.
You're exactly right. That was very well explained.
Now it's 2-2 to Bregman. Right now, some Twins fans probably wish there was an ABS because they thought that was on the edge.
Well, and you're going to take the catcher out of the situation.
Yes.
There's going to be no more framing. Frame's not even going to matter.
The guy behind the plate right now, Ryan Jeffers, is a very good framer.
Yes.
And that's a quality that might not be needed in the future. You know, their split of games between Jeffers and Sanchez impacted by his ability to frame.
Yep.
Now, if all of a sudden you have an ABS, now you put, although Sanchez hasn't hit so far for the Twins, but he would be a guy whose framing issues back with the Yankees wouldn't be a big deal as much.
Catcher you could have to change his name to a pitchback. Because all he's doing is catching and returning it to the pitcher. That's it.
There goes Altuve, and the pitch is swung on and popped high in the air. Altuve will have to retreat as the shortstop Royce Lewis in foul territory makes the play. Oh, Bregman pops up for out number 2. But I think, agreeing with you again, I think at some point it is going to happen. It may not be next year or the year after, but it's probably going to be somewhere in the next 5 years, I think.
I think you're about right. That'd be my guess too.
There's too much technology, and you're still going to need a home plate umpire there, though. He's going to have to make the call for the ABS system, whatever is implemented down the road. Here's Yordan Alvarez. Alvarez struck out swinging his first time up. Yordan takes the fastball off the plate, 1-0. Astros lead 1-0 on an RBI ground out by Jeremy Pena, scoring Yuli Gurriel, who still has the only hit in this ball game for either side, a single into right center field. But Yordan's now got a count of 2-0 to work with here.
If you're Joe Ryan, you got to be careful right here.
Very little wind today. Wind not a factor for fly balls or potential home run balls. Yordan fouls one back, 2-1.
Didn't look overly committed to that one. Might have been a little bit up in the zone.
Astros making Ryan work. He is closing in on 60 pitches in the game, averaging close to 20 pitches per inning. And Yordan now with a count of 3-1.
Knew the changeup was coming, but that was a really good take by Yordan, letting that one down out of the zone, not expanding or trying to go get it. Gets himself another hitter's count.
Broken bat, fly ball to right field. Kepler will move to his right. The barrel ended up almost in the outfield as that bat was sawed in half on a 3-1 fly ball to right. The best in Texas power pitcher is driven by 4. Justin Verlander, if you go back to the 2018 season, his last 4 starts against the Minnesota Twins have all been excellent. 0, 1, 1, and 1 runs allowed. That works out to 28 innings and a 0.96 ERA. He has averaged 8 strikeouts per outing, and he's gone 7, 7, 8, and 6 innings pitched. He continues to pitch very well against his Twins team over his last 4 starts. No more than 4 hits allowed in any of those 4.
That's impressive. Those are really good numbers. These are big league ball players. I don't care what generation or what era you're playing in. You're still facing big league hitters, and you're able to put up those consistent type numbers.
The last 2 starts he made in 2019 were back-to-back outings, one at Minute Maid Park and one here at Target Field. And both times the only run he allowed was on a solo home run. He has had very little damage against him as Alex Kirilloff grounds out to Jose Altuve. And again tonight, Justin Verlander has retired 7 straight.
Last 9 games in Minnesota. This predates him in an Astros uniform. You go back 55 1/3 innings. Carries a 1.95 ERA and 70 strikeouts.
That goes all the way back to September of 2012.
It's a little bit more than a strikeout per inning. Good grief.
Place he feels comfortable in. Obviously, he pitched a lot more here as a member of the Tigers than he has with the Astros. But he did pitch in 18 and 19 both times against the Twins, facing them home and road in those seasons. There's Ryan Jeffers. Jeffers fouls one back, and Verlander getting ahead of the count, 0-2. Justin, who's normally a guy that fills up the zone, just pounding it tonight. 23 out of 27 pitches for strikes.
Unbelievable. If you got a bat, you're in the box, you better be ready to hit. Because if you blink, you might be down 0-2.
Kind of like Jeffers is right here. And he goes down on 3 pitches. Verlander on a 95-mile-an-hour heater picks up strikeout number 3.
Verlander looking good. We're going to take a look at his strikeouts to right-handed hitters on our StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. Sliders in a perfect spot down and away to right-handed hitters. The elevated fastballs and a couple of curveballs, one at the top of the zone, and then one very good one at the bottom part of the zone. But that's exactly how he is attacking right-handed hitters. Fastballs up in the zone early and then put him away with that slider down and away.
Now Gilberto Celestino fouls one away, and another strike, first pitch strike for Verlander.
And that's a part of Verlander that's still a little bit old school, is that he goes fastball early, slider late. You know, that's how pitching was up until maybe about 10 years ago, is I'm going to attack you with the fastball. If you can't hit that and I get 2 strikes on you, I'm going to go to my spin and put you away.
Verlander has already matched his strikeout total from his last start. Didn't have a lot of strikeouts against the Mariners, just 3 in 6 2/3 innings, but was very effective with just 2 runs allowed.
It was really odd to write down, isn't it? For Verlander, 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, it didn't feel right.
6 2/3.
Only 2 runs Verlander allowed in that game. Came on that 2-run home run. Eugenio Suarez got him in that start at Minute Maid Park. He went 6 shutout innings, only allowing 3 hits prior to that 7th inning when the M's got him for 2. But at that point, the Astros held a 7-0 lead before that inning, and they would go on to win 7-2.
The only 2 runs given up in that series.
That's right. And Mariners got shut out the first 2 games, scored 2 against Verlander on that home run. And the Tigers didn't fare much better, getting 2-2-2 and then getting shut out on Sunday. So 8 total runs, 7 earned in 7 games for Astros pitching in that homestand. The offense only averaged 4 runs a game, but that was plenty enough to go 7-0.
When you're pitching the way that starting staff was going, 4 runs was more than enough. And by the end of that homestand, it actually felt like a lot more than 4-run leads whenever they had that lead going into the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
I think you said it with the Aledmus Diaz slam. I mean, a slam separates a game anyhow, but the way the other teams were scoring, it was just forget it. Once the Astros got that 4 spot, and forget about the Twins' chances in the 3rd as Verlander has another 1, 2, 3 innings, striking out 2. Celebrate the 2021 American League Championship with ALCS ring giveaway days. All fans will receive an ALCS replica ring, and one lucky fan will take home their own ALCS Elite fan ring, including real diamonds, white gold, and personalization. Find tickets at astros.com/rings today. Yuli Gurriel takes a look at a slider for a called strike. Yuli has the only hit in this game. He's also scored the only run. Some Astros fans hanging out at Target Field on a Tuesday night. And Yuli takes a look at another slider, and this one drops in as well. 0-2. Yuli hit the fastball in the right center field his first time up for a hit. And now Yuli hits one to deep left center field, going all the way back. Kirilloff, also Celestino back there, and he makes the play right up against the fence. Yuli making a bid for his first home run of the year. Flies out to deep left center field.
It's time to get out and play. It's driven by Toyota. 6.8 runs per game and a .307 batting average for the Houston Astros since 2017 right here at Target Field. That's 22 home runs included in that mashing. We have seen some explosive games, 20 hits, double-digit runs scored. It's been a lot of fun for the Astros to pad some of those stats when they get up here into Minneapolis.
And this is a Minnesota team that has very similar numbers to the Astros. They both scored a decent amount of runs, but not quite the clip that they were expected to. And they've done a very good job at preventing runs. There are only 3 teams in the American League that have allowed less than 100 runs coming into tonight. The Yankees leading the way, only 75 runs allowed. That's why they have the best record in the AL. The Minnesota's allowed 92, and the Astros have allowed 94. In terms of run prevention, these two staffs and defenses have done the job this year. You see why Kyle Tucker is shifted as much as anybody in this lineup. As Tucker takes one for a ball, it's 2-1. Tucker gets shifted 86% of the time. Only Nico Goodrum and Jason Castro and fewer at bats have a higher percentage of shifts against them. Tucker swings through that fastball. It's 2-2. Pretty big difference between the two starters' pitch counts right now. Ryan's in the mid-60s. Justin Verlander's at 34 through 3. Astros have been doing a good job staying patient, fouling off 2-strike pitches, drawing some walks today from Joe Ryan. We saw that same thing happen in the last start for Verlander when he went up against another young right-hander who's now in the minor leagues, Matt Brash. Only lasted 3 innings, 77 pitches. Verlander was able to go almost through 7 before reaching that final pitch total of 101. And another lengthy at bat here as Kyle Tucker takes one down and in, 3-2. Ryan, in his 2 seasons of pitching, almost always throws a fastball when he gets to a 3-2 count. 41 out of 44 times coming into tonight, he has thrown 3-2 fastballs. Tucker fouls off that fastball. It stays 3-2.
Took a good swing at that one. Talked about that delivery and the spin on that fastball. Sometimes you'll see guys undercut it a little bit because of that spin and release point. Man, Astros are working them.
They are. They're not chasing out of the zone when they get to 2 strikes. That is 4 walks, 1 every inning. Bregman in the first, Tucker now 2 walks in the game, 2nd and 4th inning, and Altuve walked in the 3rd. Still just 1 hit in this game. It was a single by Yuli Gurriel. Chas McCormick flied out to center.
I think I'm thinking the same thing you are. With 4 walks in the game, only 1 run on the board for the Astros. You'd like to turn those walks into runs. Find a way to string together several good at bats. and start pushing runs across the board.
You know, a subtle play in that inning where the Astros scored a run was when McCormick flied out to medium center field and Yuli advanced from second to third.
Yep.
Allowed the Astros to score on a ground out from Jeremy Pena. And Celestino, as Blummer mentioned, has a really good arm. Yuli able to beat the throw.
Yeah, that throw to third from Celestino was 93.3 miles an hour. It's a pretty good arm.
Tucker also helped out by avoiding a potential double play. It would have been tough to turn a double play on Pena the way the ball was hit and the way he runs, but Tucker was running with the pitch, so he was able to avoid the potential for a double play as Ryan checks him a second time.
Yeah, when you're on a stretch like the Astros are on, you're making all of the smart moves, you're making all the athletic moves, you're making all the pitches, you're getting all the timely hits. But those are the little things that allow you to push a run across, is staying out of that double play, gaining the 90 feet when you think you can.
There goes Tucker. The pitch is swung on and grounded foul. And Chaz down on the count 0-2. Tucker leads the team with 5 steals on the year.
He's got something on Ryan too. He's not afraid of that move to first base, but he's picked up on something that allows him to get some pretty good jumps.
Ground ball, just foul. McCormick, good numbers against the Twins. In 2021, he went 11 for 23 against Minnesota with a couple of home runs. All Astros players facing Joe Ryan for the first time tonight. Nico Goodrum on their bench has 2 home runs against him in 2 at bats. There goes Tucker again, and again McCormick fouls one back. Tucker getting a workout in. Tucker in his career has stolen bases at a high percentage. This time Tucker stays and McCormick goes down on strikes. Got him with a slider. That is strikeout number 2 for Joe Ryan, and 2 outs here in the 4th. I'll bring up Jeremy Pena, who had an RBI ground out his first time up to 16 RBIs on the year. There's just 1 off the team lead held by Tucker and Bregman. And he taps the slider foul. Ryan in his 5 previous starts this year has not gone beyond 90 pitches in any of those starts. That was a career high against the Tigers on the 27th of April. He is being pushed towards the 80 pitch plateau here in the 4th inning as the Astros continue to put 20 pitches an inning on him. Tucker on the go, head first slide. He is safe. Tucker now 6 of 7 in stolen bases. He gets into scoring position.
And 1 for 4 since he's been out there. He finally got a pitch that he could actually steal the bag on. He's been getting good jumps off of Joe Ryan. He picked a great pitch to run on too. It looked like a slider down and away, but you could see him. Joe Ryan never stopped him. He was still just kind of lingering towards second base, and when he went home, Tuck took second.
Pena, a little looper into right field. That is going to be down for a hit. Tucker around third. Here comes the throw by Kepler. Kyle's safe at home plate. Jeremy Pena has knocked in both runs tonight, and the Astros lead 2-0.
Giving those legs a workout on the base paths, Kyle Tucker stealing second base and then coming around on a softly hit base hit to right field. off the bat of Jeremy Pena for the second run of the game. How important are 90 feet? 90
He looks
feet
worn out.
He does look worn out. He's made 4 sprints to second base, but 90 feet in this game has meant 2 runs for the Astros.
It's funny because when we did have Joe Espada on Mother's Day on Sunday, you mentioned small ball, and that's what the Astros are playing tonight.
Pena forgot his invisible cloak.
But you called it. I mean, it's runs are down.
It's amazing.
And you have to do the little things to score runs right now, and the Astros have done them tonight.
It's just good to see them getting back to the idea of gaining 90 feet whenever they can. And if you can steel yourself into scoring position, you see right there, just a basic base hit scores that run.
Jeremy Pena was so anxious for his first career steal. Actually, he does have one for his second career steal that he actually left before Joe Ryan started to pitch, and then he had to hustle back. But the Tucker steal, the fly ball to center that Yuli went to third on, that's the difference between a scoreless game and a 2-0 lead.
Absolutely.
How about Pena now tied for the team lead in RBIs, hitting in that 7 and 8 spot most of the year. This guy continues to produce at the bottom of the lineup.
And how about the fact he's going to play in a lot of big games in his career because he's on a very good team and he's a very good player. But I would imagine there's a little extra incentive in this series, in this ballpark, with a certain someone in that other dugout.
And does not get to go head-to-head in this series with Carlos Correa. But certainly Correa was the big story before the game, drawing lots of media attention and lots of attention from his former teammates, as we expected.
And rightfully so, yeah.
Absolutely. But Pena has been in that 7 spot 12 times this year. He's hitting 8th tonight for the 8th time. He also batted 9th one other time. And 4 chances in the leadoff spot. So all of his run production, all 17 RBIs, basically have come at the bottom of the lineup.
It's kind of the beauty of the Astros lineup, too, is because there's so many heavy hitters before Jeremy Pena that he can slot a little bit lower down in the order and still have RBI opportunities. And fortunately for him, he's taken advantage of them.
Swing and a miss. Maldonado goes down on strikes. Joe Ryan ends up with 2 strikeouts in the inning. He's got 3 in the game, but the Astros take a 2-0 lead. The RBI single by Jeremy Pena.
For the best coverage in the game, here's a look at our T-Mobile coverage cam. This is Astros BP. You see Carlos Correa catching up with Jeremy Pena. Said he wanted to get a chance to congratulate him, say he's proud of him. Correa saying that from the moment he saw Jeremy Pena, he could see the talent. He even told him last spring training, I want you to take ground balls with me. Look and see how we do this. Look how we take care of business. I mean, after this season's over, this could be your team. He even said that after the season was over, he went to him again and said, prepare yourself like you could be the shortstop of this Astros team. And so speaking with Jeremy Pena today, guys, and catching up with him and getting his perspective on the impact that Correa had on him, he said, oh yeah, Correa's always been great. He went above and beyond always to talk to me, just pull me aside, give me some tips, give me advice. You always listen to a player like that. That's 2 great players, guys, who are also 2 great humans.
Yeah, well said, Julia. You can see the finger wrapped on the right hand for Carlos Correa. That's what's keeping him out of the lineup. This ball lined to left, and Michael Brantley's going to make a play. Kepler hit it hard the other way, but Brantley there for out number 1. So yeah, it was great to catch up with Carlos. I know a lot of people were looking forward to catching up to him, and as were we.
Very much so, and that was very well said by Julia. 2 great guys play a great position, extremely talented, but it was good to catch up with Carlos Correa. Didn't spend much time talking about the game. Spent more time talking about his 5-month-old son, Kylo. So it was kind of good to catch up and just see him again as a man, but also wish him the best moving on.
How about for you, Julie? I know that had to be a cool moment.
Yeah, it was cool. You know, I walked out there, and that's when he was getting a chance to hug everyone for the first time. And so getting that moment with Joe Espada for him was really special and something he had looked forward to, keeping those Gold Glove awards in his locker all this time, waiting for this series to come so they could take a picture that he felt was necessary, and then gifting him. So yeah, it was great to watch him catch up with everyone. Everybody enjoyed having this guy a part of their clubhouse, but also a part of their lives. And Carlos said that several times to us. You know, I know a lot of players don't like to look back, but for me, I'm looking at my brothers. You know, I'm always going to wonder what they're up to, and they've constantly been communicating and talking about this season and this season's games. He's like, maybe it would be different if they were in the same division, but if they need help, I'm here for them, and vice versa. Such a great relationship that they'll carry years to come. I know Lance McCullers and family are here. Daniela is, of course, a big part of our family as well, getting to know them. So definitely a fun reunion before today's game.
Kind of crazy and ironic that after the 2020 season, the Astros lose George Springer. He did not play against the Astros either series in 2021. And then Carlos leaving after the 21 season, and he misses this first series against the Astros in 2022. But hopefully he'll be healthy by the time he gets to Minute Maid Park, because there are a lot of fans that probably want to show their show of appreciation and love for what he did in his time in an Astros uniform. 2-2 pitch is grounded towards second base. Jose Altuve will make this play on Jose Miranda. That is out number 2, and Justin Verlander sailing along here. 41 pitches in, he's faced 11 hitters. He is working with a 2-0 lead. Here's Gary Sanchez. Sanchez made a bid for the only base runner of the game for the Twins, but he was robbed on a great play by Michael Brantley his first time up, as Brantley went diving to his right to rob Sanchez of a potential double. Misses the slider. It's 0-1. JV is just right back out there doing his thing again tonight. 39-year-old.
I don't believe you.
Acted like he's just like in 2011 or 2019 again. This ball grounded towards the hole. Pena has it backhanded. He'll take his time and make the throw to get Sanchez. Justin Verlander, 12 up, 12 down through 4 innings. Astros lead this game 2-0.
Stream out of market regular season games live or on demand, plus MLB Big Inning and select pre-game and post-game coverage. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Beautiful night in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Glad you could join us on this Tuesday evening. First of 9 in a row on this road trip. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum, Julia Morales will be there every step of the way for you. 3 here in Minnesota, then 3 in the nation's capital against the Washington Nationals, and it finishes off with 3 in Boston next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Astros trying to pick up where they left off on a 7-0 homestand. Lead this game 2-0. Jose Altuve has been on base with a walk. He's also grounded out. And Altuve with a base hit into center. That's now a 7-game hitting streak for Altuve as he picks on the first pitch of the 5th inning and singles into center.
Well, Altuve's come back and he's been on a tear, taking pitches. Walked in that second at bat. Here he takes a slider. Watch the hands again. The foot gets down a little bit early, but he's able to keep the hands back nicely and take that slider right down the middle and go right back up the middle with it. But if he starts to recognize pitches and keep those hands back, watch out.
Hit number 3 for the Astros. Walks have hurt Joe Ryan a little bit today, as he has walked 1 in every inning. 1 came around to score in the 4th, and the other helped advance Yuli Gurriel to second base, where he would eventually score after a fly ball sent him to third and a ground ball scored him. Michael Brantley looking for his first hit. A couple of fly outs to center field. One was hit well to deep center, and he's ahead of the count here, 2-0. Twins have their bullpen going for the first time, as we see the lefty warming up in the Twins pen. That's Danny Coulombe. You'd imagine he would be out there for Yordan Alvarez, who's due up 2 batters after Michael Brantley, with Joe Ryan sitting right now at 86 pitches. He's never thrown more than 90 in his young career. He probably has Brantley and Bregman, and then Coulombe would be on for Yordan. It's 3-0 to Michael. There's a strike. Just missed the top of the zone, close. Jeffers held it there for a beat, wanted the call from Bill Welke, didn't get it. Walk number 5 allowed by Ryan, 1 in every inning. And now a word from Woodlands Church.
At Woodlands Church, there's a place for everyone. We don't have all the answers, but we're looking to the one who does.
Well, maybe Bregman might not get a chance to face Joe Ryan.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I was kind of thinking along the same lines you were. Astros haven't hit the ball incredibly hard against Joe Ryan. He's just been missing his spots and a lot of walks.
See who this is coming out. That looks like Wes Johnson, the pitching coach. So that means it's probably just a little conversation here saying, look, you've walked too many tonight, but we need to lock in on Alex Bregman. This is going to be your last batter, so give it everything.
Yeah, I need you to throw more strikes, but be careful throwing a strike to the next guy.
Throw a quality strike.
Yeah.
Johnson's had his say. 2 on now with nobody out, and Bregman, who has walked and popped up at the plate. Bregman drills one deep to left field, all the way back, and that'll be against the wall on one hop. Altuve heads home. He's going to score. Bregman an RBI double. The Astros increase their lead to 3-0. RBI number 18 on the year. New team leader Alex Bregman.
Bad visit. Threw too good of a strike on that pitch, and that's going to bring out Jace Tingler, and they're going to go to the bullpen as the Astros knock Joe Ryan out on a big Alex Bregman double. Here in the 5th inning, a hanging slider put on a tee for Alex, and he's been hitting lasers to left field for quite a while now. Didn't miss that one.
Astros putting a 3 spot on Ryan, plus he's responsible for the 2 on base. He hadn't allowed more than 2 runs in any of his other 5 starts this year, but he will leave down 3-0 in the 5th inning. The lefty Coulomb on to face Yordan Alvarez when we come back.
Time now for some league leaders presented by Houston Methodist. Best records when scoring 3+ runs. Astros in the lead, 17-1. Just behind them, the Dodgers, Mets, Brewers, and Yankees. Astros doing it by scoring 3 runs or more because of the excellent pitching. We often talk about how good the Astros pitching is, and usually they are being led by the Dodgers rotation and bullpen. Max Scherzer leading the Mets. And some very good pitching in Milwaukee as well. The Yankees surprisingly getting some good pitching this season too.
Yankees getting great pitching. They are leading the way in a lot of those categories as Yordan Alvarez will face the lefty Danny Coulomb. Last time he faced him, he hit a fastball for a home run. That was actually the first time they met up in August 5th of 2021. Yordan now 2 for 3 against this lefty.
Yeah, Coulomb's going to be in the low 90s with that fastball. 9th appearance on the season, a very good ERA at .82. Yordan would like to hurt that a little bit. That's where you're going to see a lot of fastballs from Coulomb to left-handed hitters, is that middle away portion of the zone. He'll also stay out there for that slider that he throws almost half the time to left-handed hitters.
How about that note? 69 consecutive plate appearances without an RBI. Now they're going to try and stop the Astros with the infield in with 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. It's off the plate 2-1. If they can escape this inning without an RBI, they'll really have done something.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty tough task.
Last year, the bullpen against the Astros had a 7.10 ERA for Minnesota. But overall this year, they have been lights out, a 1.38 ERA as a bullpen. 2-1 here to Yordan. Big spot for the Astros, already up 3-0. And Yordan lofts one into left field. Here comes Kirilloff coming in and towards the line. Brantley's going to tag up. He is going to try and score. Kirilloff's throw will be not in time. That'll be a sacrifice fly by Yordan Alvarez. Over to 3rd goes Alex Bregman. The Astros now lead 4-0.
Pretty heads-up base running by Michael Brantley, realizing Kirilloff had a long way to go for that fly ball. Knowing that that left fielder was going to be on the move and moving away from his arm side. Put his head down, charged home, and scored that run to give Jordan that sacrifice fly.
So there goes that streak for the Twins bullpen as Jordan drives in his 16th run of the year. So Pena with 2 RBIs has 17 to tie Kyle Tucker. Jordan has 16, and Alex Bregman with his RBI double with 18. Great RBI race amongst 4 Astros. Here's Yuli Gurriel. Infield remains in with Bregman on third and 1 out. And Yuli takes a called strike. Great angle here.
Pretty good throw. Accurate. Just not enough time to get Michael.
But you're right, if that left fielder from that distance is not running and making a lunging play, no way Brantley tags up there. That was really good heads up work by Michael and Gary Pettis. So Yuli snapped an 0 for 13 his first time up with a single into right center field. He also flied out to deep left center field his last time up. Yuli's still looking for that first home run of 2022, but he'll take an RBI here with a deep fly ball if he can, as he fouls one back to the screen. Gurriel with 5 runs batted in on the year. Astros adding 2 to the ledger of Joe Ryan this inning. He's allowed 4, still responsible for Bregman at third base. Held up on a pitch in the dirt. Counts 2-2. Joe Ryan had allowed 5 runs in his first 5 starts this year. He's allowed 4 tonight. And Bregman represents the 5th run. Slow breaking ball on 2-2. A changeup gets Yuli to ground out to third. That'll be out number 2. 75-mile-an-hour pitch. So the other rule that may be implemented, this one could be sooner than the automated balls and strikes, is the pitch clock. Dwayne says, I've been watching a good amount of minor league baseball, and he likes the pitch clock. Guys just have to get the ball and go. Not much time to overthink or stall. Automatic ball, when you delay too long, might be a bit much, but he likes the clock. What do we say?
I get it. I'm curious about it. I have to see it in action. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but again, me being partial to the tradition of the game and allowing guys to gather themselves a little bit or maybe have that conversation to regroup. I like the idea of giving them the opportunity instead of rushing them to the mound and continuing to pitch. But some of the highlights I've seen, like they were talking about in that tweet about the ball being called, you know, on the pitcher if he's not ready to go, a strike on the hitter if he's not in the box ready to go. You start to mess with my ABs, you start to mess with my wallet, I'm going to get a little upset. So I'm curious to see what they set that clock number at.
Tucker tries to hold up and does. It's 1-1.
What say you, TK?
I know the games are too long.
Yes.
Something has to be done. I've never, ever wanted to see a clock in a game of baseball.
That would probably be the strangest thing.
It feels wrong.
Yeah.
But I get it. And to me, 14 and 19, the 2 thresholds right now seem a little tight.
It seems quick, doesn't it?
Seems very quick. There's also the issue of how many pickoffs are you allowed. It starts to mess with a lot of things that are just naturally a part of the game of baseball.
Yeah.
And if you can pick over as many times as you want to reset the clock, then that becomes an issue. So you have to limit the number of pickoffs. I'm on the fence still. I know something needs to be done so you don't average 3+ hours on a consistent basis, and the times aren't getting any shorter year in and year out despite Major League Baseball's best effort. So I guess it's inevitable, but I don't know if I like it.
Me neither.
3-1 the count to Kyle Tucker. Tucker, they're having trouble pitching to him in terms of the strike zone tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Back-to-back walks, and now 3-1 count facing the lefty Danny Coulombe.
Some guys find themselves up there 0-2. Tuck's dug in with a 3-ball count every time.
May have chased there. Could have been his third straight walk. Instead, the count's full. Now Tuck under his breath might be asking Bill Welke if he thought that was a strike. Well, Tucker now with his third straight full count. A couple of walks, a stolen base, and a run scored for Kyle tonight. Tucker's 2 previous times facing Coulombe, he drew a walk. Almost drew a walk here, but here's the 3-2. He does. Third walk for Tucker. Third time he's faced Coulombe that he has drawn a walk. Now Chas McCormick will bat with runners on first and third and 2 away.
This week on Astros Bases Loaded, the Astros help kids take their education to the next level. The players pay tribute to their moms on Mother's Day weekend, and Kyle Tucker comes out of his shell. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after the postgame show and all season long only on AT&T Sportsnet.
So another chance for McCormick here. Chas has batted with runners on first and second his first time up, and a runner in scoring position his last time up. Still looking for that first hit. He's 0 for 2. Now he's got first and third with 2 outs and taps 1 foul. Chas fouls the changeup. It's 0-1. Astros have seen Coulombe over the years, both with the Oakland A's and the last couple of seasons with the Minnesota Twins. He was with the A's from 2015 when he moved from the Dodgers to the A's all the way through the 2018 season. 19 didn't pitch in the big leagues in the last 2 years, 20 and 21 with Minnesota. Coulombe came in and was second and third, nobody out. He's allowed one of the runs to score on a sac fly, then got Yuli Gurriel to chop a ground ball for out 2. Walk Kyle Tucker. Now trying to get Chas McCormick here. Curveball misses. The count's 1-1. Astros averaged 4 runs a game during their perfect 7-0 homestand. Now they put up 4 here in the first game of the road trip. Astros, when scoring 4 runs or more, a perfect 11-0 on the season. Swing and a miss. Tucker down on the count, 1-2. Towards the shortstop hole, picked up by the second baseman Polanco. Throw off balance. Nice play by the Twins second baseman Jorge Polanco to retire Chas McCormick. But the Astros add 2 runs. RBI double by Bregman, a sac fly by Yordan Alvarez. It's 4-0.
Stay connected with the Astros all season by following AT&T Sportsnet on social media. Get your game highlights, player interviews, special giveaways by finding us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All things Astros all season long at AT&T Sportsnet. Here's Justin Verlander. Has 4 scoreless today, and he came in with an ERA under 2 through the first 5 starts. One of his best starts through 5 in his career, and he mentioned first pitch strikes being such a big key before today, which has obviously been a big part of what he's been able to do today, just trying to be aggressive, keep the momentum on your side. But also he said he cannot look back at what he's done. This is truly a 1 start at a time situation for him. He said, I cannot get complacent. I have to keep working. TK.
Working tonight 1-0 count here to start the at bat with Polanco. That one called a ball but had a lot of plate. It's 2-0.
Man, I wish we had an automated zone.
Verlander has only thrown 43 pitches through 4 innings. Conversely, starter Joe Ryan for the Twins threw 90 pitches in 4 innings plus 3 batters. A lot of that credit to the Astros for working a lot of good at bats against Joe Ryan, but Justin has been in command. It was a longish top half of the 5th inning when the Astros scored 2 and there was a pitching change. Verlander, who's been ahead of almost every hitter today, down 3-0 to Polanco. There's a strike. Polanco was the only other 3-ball count in this game. His first time up, got to 3-2 before he flied out to right. And that one misses low, and there's the first base runner of the game for the Minnesota Twins, as Jorge Polanco draws a walk to lead off the bottom half of the 5th inning. I'll bring up Gio Urshela. Urshela grounded out to third his first time up. Ground ball. Justin has it. He'll flip it to Altuve on the bag for the double play. A sharp ground ball at Justin Verlander, who starts the double play to erase the only base runner of the game.
JV showing some quickness. He's a big target out there, and Urshela tried to get it through him. Couldn't do it. Verlander made a quick grab of it. Easy toss to Jose Altuve, and the double play is turned. Wasn't in the set for too long.
No. Just one batter in the stretch, and now back to the windup facing Royce Lewis. A rookie shortstop takes a called strike with a slider. 0-1. Lewis struck out swinging his first time up. This ball in the center field. Chas McCormick will move to his left, and he will put it away for out number 3. Justin Verlander allows his first base runner of the game via walk, but that runner is quickly wiped out on this play by Verlander to start the 1-4-3 double play. JV and the Astros lead 4-0. Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Jack in the Box. Try Jack in the Box's popcorn chicken combos for $5.99. Get a classic spicy or 50-50. By Budweiser Zero. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. A reminder from your friends at Silver Eagle Distributors Houston. And by Toyota. Let's go places. On we go to inning number 6. Very nice looking line score right there for the Houston Astros. 4 runs on 4 hits. Twins line looks good as well, as Jeremy Pena will lead things off here. 8-9-1 for the Astros in inning number 6. Facing the lefty Danny Coulombe in his first full inning of work. Coulombe picked up 3 outs coming in out of the bullpen last inning. Pena having a nice start to this road trip. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI ground out and an RBI single. Pena has now driven in 17 runs on the year in only 97 career at bats at the big league level. Got ahead of that breaking ball. It's 1-1.
Right-handed hitters are only seeing the fastball 36% of the time from Coulombe this season. Likes that slider and changeup. What's crazy about that changeup, you just saw it right there, 75 miles an hour. Average fastball for Coulombe is around 91, 92 miles an hour. That's quite the drop off.
Huge drop off. never see or rarely see that much separation between the fastball and change.
You feel like 6 to 8 miles an hour is about normal. But once you get to that 10+ range, that's a pretty extreme.
Astros have drawn 6 walks today from Twins pitching, 5 allowed by the starter Joe Ryan, and Coulomb walked Kyle Tucker. Tucker's walked 3 of those 6 times. Now it's 3-1 here on Pena. Inside, almost hit him. And that'll be walk number 7 allowed by Minnesota pitching, and the Astros have another leadoff base runner on. That is their 4th leadoff runner on in 6 innings. Bring up Martin Maldonado. Baldy has flied out to center field and also struck out. Takes one a little in for ball 1. Coulomb pitched with the Twins last year, re-signed as a free agent in the offseason. Now 32 years old. Nobody warming up in the Twins bullpen. This is Coulomb's inning. Counts 1-1 on Maldonado. All right-handers in this 3-game series for the Astros and the Twins. Ryan versus Verlander today, Chris Archer versus Jose Urquidy tomorrow, and Josh Winder against Luis Garcia in the finale on Thursday afternoon. Twins have 2 lefties to choose from out of their bullpen. The guy you're seeing now, Danny Coulomb, and also Caleb Thielbar, a left-hander out of the pen. That's a strike in the knees. Maldonado down on the count, 1-2. Astros scoring 4 runs on 4 hits. Done a lot of the little things well in this game, taking extra bases, stealing bases, being patient at the plate, drawing 6 walks. Maldonado does not chase that pitch. The change up below the zone, 2-2. Inside, ball 3, 3-2. Pena does have 1 steal in his first season at the big league level. He's 1 for 1. We'll see if the Astros put him in motion, but before we do, we're going to get a visit from the pitching coach, Wes Johnson.
Looks like the manager, Jace Tingler, going out there with the trainer.
Oh, it's Tingler going out there. All right. So Tingler may have seen something from the dugout. This is not the pitching coach, Wes Johnson. This is going to be the end of the night for Danny Coulomb. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but something on that 2-2 pitch to Martin Maldonado. Jace Tingler noticed in the dugout, and he is going to leave the game. We're going to get a pitching change with a full count. The new pitcher for the Twins will get as much time as he wants to warm up. And we'll be back with a runner on first base and a full count here in the 6th inning. Here's our AT&T Fiber game summary. Jeremy Pena got things going with this ground ball RBI. That would score the first run of the game as Yuli Gurriel crossed the plate. Then Alex Bregman delivered with an RBI double after Pena's added an RBI single in the 4th inning. That would make the game 3-0. Yordan Alvarez added a sac fly. And the rest so far has been all Justin Verlander. Verlander's been in command. That's the only really good defensive play made for JV, despite, in addition to one he made himself. There's a nice one by Alex Bregman on a chopper to third. But Verlander started a 1-4-3 double play and has also struck out 4 in the game tonight in the first 3 innings. He has been brilliant through 5 innings, facing the minimum for the Minnesota Twins tonight in our AT&T Fiber game summary. These numbers since April 25th. We'll have to add what Verlander's done tonight at the end of this evening. But so far, Framber Valdez, Luis Garcia, JV, Jose Urquidy, Christian Javier, Jake Rizzi, since they've gone to the 6-man rotation, Blummer, it has been brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, there's really the only thing you can say is that they have been brilliant. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and it's been kind of exciting, to be honest with you, to watch when they've gone to that 6-man rotation, shortened up that bullpen by taking Javier out, putting him in that rotation. The way it's been exciting is how they have started this and how they have just continued to expect the next guy to go out there and do the same thing that they are doing, and they've matched each other every time they've been able to go out there. It's a great, healthy competition between all 6 of those guys going out there on a nightly basis trying to outdo each other.
So since April 25th, the Dodgers have the #1 title in some of these categories, but the Astros are either 1 and 2 in every pitching category since April 25th.
That's how you go on a run. That's how you make things happen. You go out there and back each other up. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Some good guys, and obviously when they cut down the rosters, they kept the right guys here.
Well, the Astros will now face Jarrell Cotton, who had as much time as he wanted to warm up. The Astros have seen him prior with the Oakland A's and the Texas Rangers, now Minnesota Twins.
Pitched a couple of games with the Minnesota Twins earlier this season. Went down to St. Paul and now is back.
Pena was on the go on a 3-2 pitch, diving attempt, and Kepler makes the catch. His throw will not be in time as Pena had to scurry back to first. Martin Maldonado made a bid, but Kepler made a tremendous catch in right field for out #1.
My goodness, I'm not sure what Maldi has to do to get a hit. That one taken away by a great play out there in right field by Max Kepler. Full extension diving in to take away this potential base hit. You can see Pena getting out there just to see what happens. Was moving in the right direction in anticipation of that catch and gets back safely.
That was a really good view of a very smart base running play, because as soon as he saw Kepler go into a dive, he started back to first base, thinking, I'm either going to advance if he doesn't come up with it, or I'm going to try and get back to first if he does come up with it. And he was off on that last pitch that Altuve fouled away. So the Astros trying to stay aggressive here on a night where they already have a stolen base and a tag up on a medium fly ball to center field. Pena was off on that pitch that Altuve fouled off. It's 0-1. Altuve has 1 career hit against Jarrell Cotton in 10 at bats. The 1 hit was a home run. Cotton was just recalled today after being designated for assignment earlier in the year and clearing waivers and being outrighted to AAA St. Paul on the 20th. Pitched in 4 games with St. Paul before having his contract selected today from AAA. Pretty similar setup, in fact the exact same setup as the Houston Astros have with their AAA affiliate. As Altuve sends one towards short, it's under the glove of Lewis. Pena's going to try to get to second. He'll be there safely. That ball was just underneath the glove of Lewis, who tried to catch it in the air, and everybody is safe.
Be interesting to see how they score that looping line drive to short that Royce Lewis tried to make a play on. Fortunately for Pena, who got, again, back-to-back plays, he's kind of gotten caught in no man's land. It looked like Royce Lewis may have picked his head up, taken his eye off that ball, and that's what led to that error.
And that'll be an error on the young 22-year-old shortstop Lewis. So now the Astros with runners on first and second, and Michael Brantley will bat. Just enough top spin, huh, Blummer?
Yep, snuck underneath there. And fortunately kicked far enough away to allow Pena to get into second.
Well, you're right. Pena's had two really tough reads as a runner.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's not easy.
He was able to get to second ahead of the backhand flip, and now runners in on first and second, and Brantley takes one off the plate. Michael walked and scored his last time up. A couple of flyouts to center field. Cotton last year pitched with the Texas Rangers, appeared in 23 games out of their bullpen. Astros saw him as a starting pitcher with the Oakland A's, started 5 games in 2016 and 24 games in 2017 before being injured in 18. Now 30 years of age, pitching his first season with the Minnesota Twins. That one catches the inside corner for a strike. It's 1-2.
That's his best secondary pitch too, is that changeup. Pulled that one across the plate, stayed on the inside corner to Michael.
Line drive, base hit to right field. Gary Pettis will hold up Jeremy Pena as that ball got to Max Kepler in a hurry. And the Astros have loaded up the bases. Michael Brantley, who always hits well here at Target Field, with a single to right.
Now we're seeing the Astros string together some strong at bats, just like they did in that 5th inning where they scored a couple of runs.
Alex Bregman now bats with the bases loaded. Alex has doubled and walked today. Hit a home run on Mother's Day Sunday. It's his 5th home run of the year. He sends this ball in the air to right field, shallow, coming in. Kepler towards the line. Pena's tagging. He's going to try and score. Here comes the throw. Pena slides in headfirst safely. What a slide, and what great speed shown by Jeremy Pena. And the Astros now lead this game 5-0.
That was a gutsy move right there. Kepler's got a pretty good arm out there in right field, and he was moving towards home plate. You figured with a 4-run lead, you could take a chance right here. You can see Jeremy creep back to third base. Between him and Gary Pettis, they made the decision to go home, and this is that phenomenal slide, diving to the outside and using that left hand to swipe across the top.
I know at times it sounds like we gush about Pena. He had 3 different base running plays in that sequence this inning that were all veteran heads-up type plays, playing in his 2nd month at the big league level.
And plays you only make if you've got experience and speed. That play right there is just pure speed. That's acknowledging the fact that you can create an opportunity with your legs.
Tough reads between first and second twice. One on a great catch by Kepler, one on a ball mishandled by Lewis, and then the speed and the dive to the outside part of the plate to score that 5th run of the game.
30.4 feet per
Come
second.
on.
Elite.
Jordan's going to ground one to first to end the inning, but great base running in that inning by Jeremy Pena allows the Astros to score their 5th run. There was an error in the mix, but that is a shallow sac fly, and that's what elite speed will do. Astros lead 5-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Justin Verlander has been in command tonight and filling up the zone with first pitch strikes.
It's a pretty good visual of it. And he's doing it with the 4-seamer, the slider, and the curveball. He's been indiscriminate as how he goes ahead and gets ahead in these counts.
Verlander has thrown only 51 pitches through 5 innings. 39 of those have been strikes. He misses on the first pitch here of the 6th inning. He's still at a 75% strike percentage tonight, facing the bottom third of the Twins order. There's a ball sharply hit, backhanded by Bregman. Nice play on one hop. A little nod of the head from Justin Verlander to his third baseman and a smile on his face as Bregman makes that play.
Playing in tight on that cut of the grass. Ball hit hard, and the way Alex's legs feel this season, that's just a routine play for him. He has looked very good over there at third base, or in the vicinity of it.
Here's Ryan Jeffers. Yeah, it has been so noticeable, the difference in Breggy's defense from when he was less than 100% healthy the last year or two to what he's done this year.
And noticeable in the sense that he's back to normal. That was the biggest thing. That's how he plays third base. We just haven't benefited from that the last couple of years because of the leg issues that he's had.
See how good Verlander has been with his pitch count. 3 single-digit innings, the first, the fourth, and the fifth. Only 11 needed in the third. He has been on point and ahead of almost every hitter tonight. He's 1-1 here, and this ball is lofted down the line and left. Pena and Bregman are there. Alex is called off by the rookie, who puts it away for out number 2.
Celebrate the Astros 2021 AL Championship with the ALCS ring plan. Secure your tickets for every ALCS replica ring giveaway and collect all 8 throughout the season. Get your ring plan today at astros.com/ticketplans.
2 outs, bases cleared, and that'll bring up Gilberto Celestino. Celestino struck out looking his first time up. It was the last strikeout for Verlander. Verlander struck out 4 first time through the lineup. Now facing a 9-hitter and wrapping up the second time through the lineup. No strikeouts this time through, but only 1 walk allowed by Verlander in the game as the only base runner in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Verlander erased that walk with a double play that he started himself.
He's got some good defense behind him. He helped out himself with that double play also. Brantley with a big play early in the game out there in left field.
Missing a little low, 2-1. A couple nice plays by Bregman. The Brantley play on Gary Sanchez in the first inning. And the Verlander starting his own double play. That picks up just enough of the outside edge. It's 2-2. Celestino's been one of the hotter Twins lately. 440 his last 8 games, including his first career 3-hit game on Sunday. Will not have a single-digit pitch inning in the 6th inning as he's thrown 10 here, getting a ground out and that foul pop-up. Pitch number 6 of this at bat to Celestino. And the count goes full. Only the third 3-ball count of the night for JV. The other 2 with Jorge Polanco batting. Polanco flied out to right and walked. Now a full count on the 9-hitter Celestino. Foul off of Maldonado's mask, and Maldi is such a gamer, he started looking around as if he was going to catch the ball off his mask. He thought he was going to make the play on the
so
deflection.
often.
It was unbelievable.
And I need to get down there and ask him how or why, or I mean, that the reaction and the reflexes it takes to be able to think about doing this is unbelievable.
There is no flinch He's going after the baseball. Those guys are stunned for a second.
Yeah.
Baldy's in full warrior mode looking for the
they're
ball.
like, are you, before they can even ask him, are you okay? He's trying to make the play. It's unbelievable. I've never seen a catcher react like that.
Well, it stays 3-2. This has been one of Verlander's longest ABs. Celestino calling time here.
Also never seen a rider dive under their desk quicker than McTaggart and Rome
So they bail
on that foul ball, yeah.
Upstairs, ball 4, second walk allowed by Verlander. Twins have their second base runner of the night. Time to play Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. We're going to give you these clues on a Tuesday evening. If you have an idea of who it might be, you can send along your thoughts to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Rule 5 pick, twin trade, a two-timer. Those are your clues tonight on Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. This one off the glove of Maldonado. Celestino heading to second, and he will be out at second base. Martin Maldonado throws out Celestino trying to advance, and Verlander has still faced the minimum despite walking 2 in the game. They're going to take an extra look at this in the Twins dugout. And Maldonado making a throw from deeper than the normal catching position may have gotten Celestino.
I think it was a bad slide. He got him.
Inning over. Verlander still facing the minimum.
Stay hot.
Tag made by Pena. We head to the 7th. 5-0 Astros.
Last season, he took home a Gold Glove and the batting title. On Saturday, May 21st, you can take home his bobblehead. 10,000 fans will receive a Yuli Gurriel 2021 Awards bobblehead presented by Chevron at the Astros-Rangers game. Find tickets today at astros.com/promotions. TK?
All right, Julia, Yuli will lead off, and he'll take a fastball for a strike from Jarrell Cotton. Cotton had to come into this game with a 3-2 count when Danny Coulombe left in the last inning. Cotton picked up 3 outs in the inning, but the Astros did score another run with some great base running along the way from Jeremy Pena. He scored on an Alex Bregman sac fly. Yuli down on the count quickly, 0-2. It'll be Yuli, Kyle Tucker, and then Chas McCormick. There goes the bat, and there goes the at-bat for Yuli as he strikes out on 3 pitches. So Yuli goes down for the first strikeout for Jarrell Cotton. There's one away here in the 7th. I'm going to bring up Kyle Tucker, who's had an interesting start to this road trip. Tucker has been up 3 times and he's walked 3 times. Has a stolen base and a run scored. But he has not seen many strikes tonight from Twins pitching. Joe Ryan, the starter, walked him twice. Danny Coulombe out of the bullpen walked him as well. Tucker swings at the first pitch, lost one to left, long run Kirilloff, and he won't get there. That is trapped for a base hit for Kyle Tucker. Tucker on base for the 4th time tonight. They say they don't even out, but Tuck's had a few of these on recent road trips where he has not hit the ball hard and found himself with a base hit.
That's a peach, hon. Kirilloff in a dead sprint, unable to get there. Short hops it. And you're right, TK. Some of these shots are starting to fall in, especially on the road for Kyle Tucker. Need a bigger glove.
We'll bring up Chas McCormick looking for his first hit. Chas has flied out, struck out, and grounded out. So Tucker on base with 1 out. Astros now have 6 hits in the game. They have 5 singles and the double by Bregman. Chas misses the fastball from Jarrell Cotton. It's 1-1. 1-2 the count. That fly ball on the left off the bat of Tucker had an 80% catch probability.
Wow.
What was the catch probability of the Brantley play? 50%?
50.
How about that?
Yeah. No, Brantley made a heck of a play on Gary Sanchez.
Tough night for Chaz as he goes down on strikes for the second time. 2 away here in the inning. Well, we gave you the clues. It's time now to name that Astro, powered by Reliant. Quick turnaround today on the name. The Astro, powered by Reliant. Rule 5 pick, twin trade, a 2-timer. Did you get your guesses in? Ryan Presley was a Rule 5 pick from the Red Sox in 2012. Traded from the Astros to the Astros from the Twins in 2018, and an All-Star in 19 and 21. Wasn't just a homecoming of sorts for Carlos Correa seeing his former team. It was also one for Ryan Presley and Jake Odorizzi today. Guys, it's pitched here in Minnesota and still have friends in that opposing dugout.
Yeah, we had one going from the home dugout to the visiting side and 2 going from the visiting to the home side.
There goes Tucker looking for his second steal tonight. Safely in with a head-first slide. Tuck 2 for 2 tonight. He is 7 for 8 on the season. And he continues to pick the right spots to steal bases.
And he is all over Ryan Jeffers. Doesn't matter who's on the mound. He's getting a great jump and showing that speed, getting into second base well ahead of the throw.
Tucker in his career is now 35 of 40 in stolen bases. That's a great percentage. All the way up to third now in the American League with 7 steals. Up and away, 3-0. Pena already has 2 RBIs on the night. You might think about being careful with him with a 3-0 count and a base open. Tucker stole 14 bags last year. That was his career high. He's well on his way to a new career high this year. Cott throws Pena a strike, but he throws him a slider on 3-0.
They're almost not sure if he wanted to. Kind of dangled that one out there, but if he leaves one out over the plate, Jeremy's going to be more than ready for it.
Throw him a 3-1 changeup, and this one's fouled into the camera well by the Twins dugout. Bouncing into the stands, and now the count's full. So 3-0 slider, 3-1 changeup. They don't want to mess with a fastball here to Pena, it appears. It's now 3-2. On the ground towards the left of the shortstop, Lewis, who will make the play on Pena for the final out of the inning. So 1 hit, a stolen base, 1 man left on base. 7th inning stretch time here at Target Field in Minnesota with the Astros leading this game 5-0. We're going to head to our Rooms to Go lounge. Get to the ballpark early on Friday, May 20th and see the Astros take on their in-state rival Texas Rangers. 10,000 fans will receive an Orbit Sunday jersey presented by Phillips 66. You can find your tickets to start the weekend with Astros baseball by going to astros.com/promotions. Martin Maldonado throwing out another runner. This one a little more unconventional as he went to track down that pitch that got away.
Yeah, you just love that he didn't give up on the play, continued to chase down that baseball, gave Pena a strong throw, who held his ground and made the tag to finish off that inning. That saves that pitch count for Justin Verlander on a pretty good night.
Verlander will face the top of the order for the 3rd time, has allowed just 2 walks in this game as Max Kepler swings at the first pitch and fouls one away. Verlander now at 67 pitches, averaging 11 pitches per inning in this game. Kepler has struck out and lined out. First time through the lineup, the Twins were 0 for 9 with 4 strikeouts. The second time through the lineup, they were 0 for 7 with no strikeouts and a couple of walks. This ball lined towards Altuve, and he snares it for the first out here in the 7th inning. Hit off the end of the bat, but on a line, and Verlander keeps smiling, as there's been a couple of hard hit balls that have now have not found their way into the outfield. All right, so more on Twitter Tuesday. We're asking you about what rules that have been changed that you like, or what rules that are coming down the road that you're thinking about that you like or don't like. Jeanette likes the universal DH, but she's too OG to ever like the automated pitch calls. It's a live game with real people, blown calls and all. We might as well watch video baseball if we're going to automate it. It's just my honest opinion, but thanks for letting me state it. Thanks, Jeanette.
Nice work getting the OG and the JMHO in there, too.
There you go.
Strong.
LOL. 1-0 the count to Jose Miranda, who has popped up and grounded out. He's popped up again. Maldonado gives it a look. Does he have room? He wants to climb the fence if he could.
He was going to go through the net.
He almost went through the netting, but couldn't figure out a way to get through it. 1-1.
It's a good thing the fans aren't playing defense behind Justin Verlander. It might be a different story. Coming right into your living room.
Miranda chops the ground ball foul, and he is down to the count 1-2. Jose Miranda, just 23 years old, had an incredible minor league season last year at AA Wichita and AAA St. Paul. Combined to hit 30 home runs and 32 doubles and drive in 94 runs in just 127 games. And again, he chops one foul. And still resides in Puerto Rico. He is the cousin of Lin-Manuel Miranda, Hamilton fame. Now getting his chance, Jose is, to play at the big league level for the first time.
It's a pretty good bloodline.
Really good bloodline. This one chopped towards the middle. Pena to his left has the play, and Jeremy makes it in time to get Jose Miranda for out number 2. Verlander, 2 outs into the 7th inning, has now thrown 73 pitches as he'll face the designated hitter Gary Sanchez for a 3rd time. Sanchez hit that ball on the line to left his first time up. Michael Brantley, with a 50% catch probability, made the play. It's also grounded out to short. Strike call. .73 pitches, 74 now, 54 for strikes.
It was good for a 73% strike rate, which is pretty impressive for Justin Verlander. We showed the visual on how many first pitch strikes he is throwing. He has been in command of a majority of these at bats, frustrating Minnesota Twins hitters.
That one's popped up way up in the air. Yuli Gurriel all by himself at first base, puts it away for the final out of the 7th inning. Justin Verlander has faced the minimum. 2 walks tonight. We are through 7 in a 5-0 game. Martin Maldonado will lead things off here for the Astros in the 8th inning. Jarrell Cotton, the pitcher, and Maldi hits one pretty well to right, but playable. Max Kepler gets back a few steps and puts it away. Maldi lines out on 1 pitch here in the 8th inning.
The Shiner Box spotlight falls on young Jeff Bagwell. First multi-home run game of his career. Guess what? He came in the 8th inning and hit that bomb right there to tie this game up in Pittsburgh. He would come up later and drive another one out back on May 10th of 1992. I can't believe he played in the 1900s. 2 home run game for Jeff Bagwell. Plenty more to come after that.
First 2 home run games, didn't even get in till late. Here's Altuve.
Who doesn't start Jeff Bagwell?
paid off late in that game.
I think Baggy was in his office afterwards going, man, I could have hit 4.
There's a strike called. It's 0-2. It's kind of like what Josh Naylor did last night for the Guardians.
Gosh, was that incredible.
Coming back against the White Sox down 8-2 in the ninth. Here's Altuve, who's grounded out, walked, singled and scored a run, and reached on an error. The error that he reached on by Royce Lewis is the only mark on the Twins line score tonight. Chopper foul, stays 0-2.
Astro hitters are having a tough time with the off speed from Jarrell Cotton. He's done a good job with that slider and then going immediately to the changeup. But Altuve doing a good job of fighting.
Turns out they needed Cotton to be able to give their bullpen a little breather here tonight. He's a former starter, but he's going into his 3rd inning of work after taking over in the 6th inning. Altuve with a close take there. Counts 1-2.
Yeah, it's outings like Jarrell Cotton's having right now that don't show up in box scores or at the end of the week for player of the week, but inside that clubhouse it goes a long way.
Danny Coulomb had to leave with what was being reported as a hip injury.
Oh.
Jarrell Cotton taking over in a 3-2 count. Got Martin Maldonado to fly out. Now he's faced 10 batters, allowed a couple of hits, and he allowed the inherited run to score, but that was an unearned run due to an error. 2-2 the count to Altuve. 96 on that last fastball.
I don't remember Jarrell Cotton having that with the Oakland A's.
Now he pulls a slider, and Altuve's come all the way back from being down in the count 0-2. Now full count. Hip inflammation is what's being reported on Danny Coulomb to leave the game. Twins have had their share of injuries. Byron Buxton hasn't played the last few games due to a hip issue. Obviously, Carlos Correa with the finger injury, he's now on the IL. They also had to put Chris Paddock on the IL today. Altuve hooks one down the line foul. Paddock goes on the IL with right elbow inflammation. Twins are missing some pieces. They still play pretty good baseball. 17-11 coming into, 18-11 coming into tonight. They missed Luis Arraez recently, and also Dylan Bundy due to COVID. Same with their manager Rocco Baldelli. Close take, and Altuve doesn't get that call. 3-2 pitch catches the top of the zone, and Cotton has his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Broke out the curveball to get him. Tell you what, the only reason I come to Minnesota is to visit with Rocco. He's a good dude. Ex-teammate back in 04 with me and TK in Tampa, as you see the curveball come in and catch the top of the zone against Jose.
Now, we're not sure if Rocco is going to test negatively in time for one of these games before the Astros leave town or not. Here's Michael Brantley. Baldelli and Arraez and Bundy all on a road trip recently where the team had some COVID issues in Baltimore. Were unavailable to the team over the weekend against Oakland. Now it's 2-0 to Brantley. Michael's been on base twice, a walk, a run scored. He singled his last time up. Astros have all the hits in the game, 6 of them, and they lead this game 5-0. Astros have left 9 men on base today as Twins pitching has walked a lot of batters. Cotton's done a nice job. He hasn't walked anybody, but he is in danger of doing so here, down 3-0 to Brantley. 5 walks from Joe Ryan, a couple of walks from Danny Coulomb while he was in there. And there's ball 4. That was walk number 8 allowed by Twins pitching today. The first one issued by Jarrell Cotton. JV just kind of chilling out. 7 innings worth of baseball, and his pitch count has been brilliant. He's at 75 pitches through 7. Less than 11 pitches per inning. Here's Alex Bregman. Bregman shoots one to right field. That'll be down for a hit. Alex Bregman has 2 hits and a walk tonight. He's also got a sac fly. Good start to the road trip for Breggy, first and second with 2 outs.
You're starting to look up and down your scorecard, and you're seeing some hits, a lot of base runners, walks. Good team game they're playing today, both on the defensive side and offensive side. They're going up there with game plans, and they're executing beautifully. Now all we need is for Jordan to catch one.
Yeah, he popped a little sac fly down the left field line. It was a good heads-up base running play by Michael Brantley. But he didn't really drive that ball. Ended up with an RBI, his 16th of the year. He's 0 for 3 other than the sac fly. But he can really put a dent in this game. Already 5-0 Astros in the 8th inning. Fastball there that he takes for a strike, 1-1. Jordan grounded out against Cotton his first time up, facing this reliever in the 6th inning. Bregman with 2 hits tonight. Altuve and Brantley have a hit each. Gurriel and Tucker have a hit each, and so does Jeremy Pena. They've spread out their 7 hits. Jordan misses the changeup. Now Cotton has a 2-2 count. Brantley's been on base 3 times. Bregman's been on base 3 times. Tucker's been on base 4 times. And Jordan goes after that changeup and strikes out to end the inning. Hit, walk, 2 men left on base. Justin Verlander time. Middle of the 8th, Astros leading 5-0.
Let's reveal tonight's results of the Chevy Stroh poll. The 2nd most votes this season. Which of the following most likely to happen? The winner. Ooh, Jordan edging out Verlander today. Will we see a home run tonight? We appreciate all the votes coming in. TK.
All right, Julia. Could have been a choice D, as it turns out. Justin Verlander has 4 strikeouts. Jordan still without a home run. Uncle Mike's been on base 3 times, but the 1 hit. But JV will start out by facing Jorge Polanco. This is the guy that has seen more pitches than anybody else in the lineup. Got to a 3-2 count his first time up, flied out to right. Got to a 3-1 count his last time up and drew one of the 2 walks allowed by Justin Verlander. The only 2 base runners in the game for the Minnesota Twins.
Polanco's a tough at bat.
And Verlander's been a little more careful with him. He has not quite attacked his own as much as he has with the rest of the lineup. He's 2-0 here on Polanco. The Polanco, Gio Urshela, and Royce Lewis here in the 8th inning. There's a strike on the outer edge, 2-1.
That's kind of the beauty of Justin Verlander right there. Even in hitters counts, you know you're going to get a fastball, but it's not too often that he gives you one that you can hit, or at least take a good swing at. It's going to be his pitch, much like many of them tonight. Again, staying on that outside corner, trying to stay out of the reach of Minnesota Twins hitters.
Verlander and Maldi trying to get together on this 2-2 pitch. Polanco with a 9-game hitting streak going, the longest for the Twins this season. Takes the slider down and in, 3-2. Got him. Broke it over for a called third strike. JB picks up a big strikeout, getting the tough Jorge Polanco for out number 1.
Started the at-bat off with a couple of curveballs out of the zone, unable to get it back on the plate. Here in a 3-2 count, goes back to it and throws the filthy one at the bottom part of the zone to get the looking strikeout. Mattress from Supermo is showing you some of the movement of that curveball as it snaps down, and Polanco knew it.
Now Gio Urshela hit a little tapper to third. Bregman made a bare hand play on him for the out in the second inning, and then bounced one sharply back to Justin Verlander, who started a 1-4-3 double play his last time up, and now he's down on the count 0-1. There's a line drive base hit. Justin Verlander was within 5 outs of pitching his 4th no-hitter of his career. Only Sandy Koufax and Nolan Ryan have done that. And Verlander goes 7 1/3 no-hit innings tonight.
I really thought we were going to see something special tonight. It's been a lot of fun to watch Justin Verlander come back from the Tommy John surgery and continue the success of 2019 when he did win that American League Cy Young Award. But Gio Urshela spoils it by going the other way with that fastball. Another incredible start for Justin Verlander.
The thing I noticed today more than the last time in Toronto was he's smiled a lot today. Like a couple of defensive plays that were made behind him, he was just kind of smiling and really enjoying the moment. It's so hard to think about doing it once in your career. He is one of 7 pitchers that has done it, or one of 6 pitchers that has done it 3 times, and he almost joined the most exclusive club to do 4 times or more. Now I'll go back to work with a 1-hitter. He gets a swinging strike from Royce Lewis. One of the things that's really cool here at Target Field is they update batter to batter a pitcher stats on the year. So with that hit by Urshela, opponents are now hitting 152 against Verlander this season. And the whip goes all the way up to 0.65.
Well, that's what I was watching, was the whip number was unbelievable.
0.65 whip for a guy coming off Tommy John surgery. That one misses.
That's with 40. He's got 40 innings into the season.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a reasonable amount of data to pick up, but a .65 is just wow.
This one popped high in the air. Maldonado gives it a look, and he'll run out of room. Again, Maldi wants to run through that screen if possible. He is so determined to get these foul balls, but that one's just beyond his reach. Now a message from TXU. It's fun to watch a catcher who's as engaged as Martin Maldonado, but when he has a special night going on like he knew Justin Verlander has, he goes into hyper mode, trying to catch foul balls off his mask, trying to run through the screen on foul balls. He is so into every moment. Tried to frame that one up for Justin, doesn't get it, but shows him a little love, saying that's a good pitch right there. It's 2-2. Astros do get their bullpen going for the first time tonight. Now that Verlander's allowed a hit. Ryan Stanek is warming up in the Astros pen. Justin at 88 pitches, 101 is what he threw last game. That was the most he's issued in any start this year. I would imagine he's got at least this inning, assuming he doesn't get in any further damage, and he might not with Bregman going to Altuve. Altuve's turn in time to get Royce Lewis. A bounce throw to Yuli Gurriel for a double play. 2 walks and a hit allowed by Verlander, and all 3 base runners have been wiped out. That last one by a double play, Bregman to Altuve to Gurriel. Verlander still facing the minimum through 8.
Around the horn they go from third to second, and probably the best changeup of the year from Jose Altuve to turn the double play.
Justin Verlander threw 8 innings, facing the minimum. He faced 24 batters, a hit, a couple of walks, only needed 89 pitches to get through 8 innings. Got a lot of love from the dugout coming in after those numbers. What a night for Justin Verlander. And the first pitch of the 9th inning is going to hit Yuli Gurriel. Jarrell Cotton throws one inside the tails into Gurriel. That'll be a hit by pitch to start the 9th. Well, based on that, it looks like Verlander's night is over at 89 pitches. He is in full conversation mode, and that is not usually where he is in the middle of an outing.
Be a good conversation to hear. I didn't feel that great. You know, I had my B- stuff, was still able to go out there and hold him down for about, 7 1/3. That was a great outing.
How about this? He threw fewer pitches to get through 8 innings than Joe Ryan did in his 4 innings of work.
But he sets that's incredible in itself. I mean, it's also a credit to the Houston Astros hitters that are able to lay off pitches and make Joe Ryan work. But at the same time, Justin Verlander went out and absolutely took control of every at bat that first time through the order. So I think it kind of set the tone for those first 9 at bats for the next time through the order and the next time through the order, because it kind of forced the Minnesota Twins hitters to be on alert early. But then he goes to the curveball, he goes to the slider first pitch to get the strikes, and all of a sudden you're standing up there guessing in 0-1, 0-2 counts. Did such a good job of commanding those at bats. That's what made tonight, I mean, it's been impressive all year, but that much more impressive.
It was one of those nights where Verlander didn't dominate with the strikeout. He didn't need to. Because he got ahead of the hitters. He was getting weak contact. A few hard hit balls, but they were at defenders, or nice plays made by Bregman or Brantley and Justin himself. His 89 pitch breakdown, he threw 44 four-seam fastballs, 28 sliders, and 17 curves. Little tapper off the leg of Jarrell Cotton, who will recover and throw out Tucker by less than a stride. That ball back at the mound, hit Cotton on the play. Gurriel will move to second. First time all night Tucker's been retired. He was 1 for 1 with 3 walks prior to that. Verlander got 7 swings and misses on 47 swings tonight. 3 on the fastball and 4 on the slider. But just ahead of every hitter, filling up the zone with strikes. Polanco gave him a couple of tough at bats, but he was never really in danger the whole night, and every base runner that reached was taken off the bases either by a double play or Maldonado throwing him out.
That was equally as impressive, still facing the minimum through all of that, even with the traffic that he did have out there with the walks.
Astros have the left-hander Blake Taylor warming up in their bullpen. They're going to come out and take a look at Jarrell Cotton, who took that last comebacker off the left leg. And he tells Jace Tingler he's fine, but Jace, the acting manager here with Rocco Baldelli on the COVID list, he wants to see it for himself that Jarrell Cotton's fine. There is bullpen action going for the Twins. Both teams have left-handers warming up. The Twins have Caleb Thielbar warming up, and the Astros have Blake Taylor warming up. But it looks like Cotton is fine, and he'll stay in to face Chas McCormick. Chas looking for his first hit. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Looks like Verlander's night's going to end with 8 innings of 1-hit baseball. What a night. His dominance against the Twins continues.
Yeah, got a lot better tonight.
The Astros hold on to this 5-0 lead. Verlander will move to 21-10 in his career against the Twins, and he will have allowed 3 runs his last 5 starts against Minnesota going back to 2018. Only 14 hits total in those 5 starts. McCormick, fly ball to center field, playable for Gilberto Celestino. Yuli's going to tag, but in a 5-0 game, he's just going to chill out on second base. No need to force the issue with 2 outs. That'll bring up Jeremy Pena. Astros don't see the Twins again until August 23rd through 25th at Minute Maid Park. Right now, everybody in that Twins dugout is hoping somehow they'll miss Justin Verlander's turn.
No doubt.
During that series. Pena a couple of RBIs tonight. Jeremy an RBI ground out, an RBI single, also walked and scored a run and grounded out. So 1 for 3 officially with 2 RBIs and a run scored for Pena. He is the #1 American League shortstop in home runs, and he's also #1 amongst American League shortstops in RBIs. Bottom third of the order due up for the Twins. They will have Alex Kirilloff, a left-hand hitter, due up, followed by Ryan Jeffers and Gilberto Celestino, a couple of righties. They have 3 lefties on the bench. A lefty Blake Taylor might neutralize any moves for Jace Tingler in the 9th inning. This one upstairs, 3-1. So Pena batting for the 5th time. Martin Maldonado, the #9 hitter, waits on deck. He might get a 5th at bat. Astros with 7 hits. They have also drawn 8 walks in the game, plus they've been hit by a pitch. That is walk #9. Pena walks for the 2nd time. He's been on base 3 times tonight with a single and a couple of walks, and now Maldi will bat. And Maldi will face a new pitcher, it appears, as Tingler comes out of the bullpen, out of the dugout, and we're going to go to the bullpen for a pitching change. We're going to bring in the lefty Thielbar to face Martin Maldonado here with 2 outs and 2 on in the 9th inning. Gerald Cotton will head to the dugout, and here comes the new lefty when we come back. Nearly had history tonight. Justin Verlander made a bid for his 4th career no-hitter. He was sharp from the start.
Throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, but he also got a lot of help from his defense early on. Laying out with a 50% catch probability was Michael Brantley, and then the bare hand play from Alex Bregman on Gio Urshela, who would eventually break up that no-hitter, but he was aggressive in the zone. And like TK said earlier, not a lot of strikeouts in typical Verlander fashion, just taking command of the at-bat and staying off barrels and using that defense behind him. Another brilliant outing and almost a historic one for Justin Verlander.
New pitcher Caleb Thielbar will face Martin Maldonado here with 2 on and 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Thielbar's fastball, sorry, TK, change, curve, and a slider.
So all the lefties in the bullpens will get in this game. The 2 lefties for the Twins, Thielbar and Coulombe. We'll have to check on the health of Coulombe after the game, as he left with some hip inflammation. And the lefty for the Astros, Blake Taylor, will get the 9th inning. Counts 2-0 here on Maldonado.
Rough start to the season for Thielbar. 10 innings out of that bullpen, 10 earned runs.
And Maldi sends one to left field, playable. Kirilloff broke back. Now he comes in, and he will put it away for the final out of the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Blake Taylor will try and close this thing out and finish off a masterpiece by Justin Verlander. Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Gallery Furniture. If made in America, it is important to you. Shop Gallery Furniture today. And by Whataburger. Meet Whataburger's new Southern Bacon Double Burger here for a limited time at participating locations. It is 5-0 Astros with a one-hitter. With Justin Verlander going the first 8 innings, and our Crawford Bach call to the bullpen will bring in Blake Taylor here for the bottom of the 9th.
Blake has pitched in May. It was back on May 3rd. It was his 10th appearance on the season, a 1.08 ERA that matches his whip. More walks than strikeouts.
Facing the left-hand hitting Alex Kirilloff here to start things off. Bottom third of the order due up for the Twins. As we've mentioned multiple times, the Twins have had 3 base runners. They've all been wiped out off the base paths. So chance to face the minimum in this game. 24 batters so far through 8. Astros do have a defensive change in the outfield as well, as Jose Siri has taken over in center field. Chas McCormick will move from center field to left field. Michael Brantley will have the rest of the night off. Little tapper. Taylor can't make the play. Altuve barehand flips, and he flips it past Gurriel. There will be no advancement. That was a tough play once it got past Taylor. So a little infield single, it appears, for Alex Kirilloff, just the second hit of the night for the Twins.
With the left-hander Taylor falling off towards that third base side, really not a chance for him to change direction and get over there and try and field that as it sneaks past him. Altuve trying to do his best to help out. Fortunately, didn't go into the dugout or allow the runner to advance.
Well, the Twins do have their second hit. Gio Urshela with a single to right in the 8th inning, and now Ryan Jeffers will bat. Jeffers takes one down for ball 1. Astros with 5 runs on 7 hits, and with 9 walks and a hit batter allowed, they have left 13 men on base. The Twins have gone the entire night without 1 man left on base. Now they have a runner on here in the 9th, and a 1-1 count on Jeffers. Justin Verlander, 89 pitches and 8 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball tonight. Blake Taylor called on for the final 3 outs. Missing in 2-1. Not a lot of left-handed hitters in this Twins lineup, most of them on the bench tonight. Just Kepler and Kirilloff, the lefties, and a switch hitter, Jorge Polanco. As Taylor has missed here, is 3-1. The last thing you want to see is traffic as they head back to the top of the order. This has been a night completely dominated by the Astros and Justin Verlander. That's poked deep to right field. Back goes Tucker near the wall, and he'll put it away and crash into the wall. Heading back to first base is Alex Kirilloff. Ball was well struck by Jeffers, but Tucker ran it down right in front of the wall and right. A couple of nice plays the last couple of games by Tucker.
Plays a good right field. Sometimes you take it for granted when you see his at-bats. Not a lot of flash out there, but definitely makes everyday plays and then some.
Now Gilberto Celestino will bat. Takes one up for ball 1. Celestino drew one of the 2 walks issued by Verlander in the game. He walked and then was caught trying to advance on a pitch that got away from Martin Maldonado. Ground ball towards Bregman. It bounces off Bregman's glove, and everybody will be safe. Twins will now have 2 runners on as they head back to the top of the order.
This fastball was hit really well. Tough two-hopper that got to Alex in a hurry. It was 106.4 off the bat. Easily the hardest hit ball of the evening.
Will go down as a hit for Celestino. So 2 hits in the inning, 3 hits in the game for the Twins. Now the top of the order, Max Kepler. Kepler 0 for 3 against Verlander, lined out to left and also lined out to second. Taylor picks up a strike, 0-1. Now Blake ahead, 0-2. Most pitches in any inning for Justin Verlander were the 17 pitches he threw in the second inning. This will be the 13th pitch of the 9th for Blake Taylor. This is 1-2. Verlander only had 2 innings where he threw as many as 15 pitches in an inning. Two and two. Couple of infield hits. Alex Kirilloff topped one towards second. Alberto Celestino hit a smash that jumped up on Alex Bregman. Now a 2-2 count on Kepler. Upstairs 3-2. You're Dusty Baker, you'd rather not get anybody else warming in the bullpen, but he has had to here with 2 hits and now a full count on Max Kepler. Fly ball center field, playable for the new center fielder Jose Siri. He puts it away for out number 2. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Houston Astros and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Houston Astros. Ryan Presley is warming up in the Astros bullpen if necessary. They would rather close it out here with Blake Taylor facing Jose Miranda, who is 0 for 3. Ball hit sharply but foul. Astros scoring 5 runs tonight. A couple of RBIs for Alex Bregman, a couple of RBIs for Jeremy Pena. 3 of the 5 runs scoring with outs, 2 sac flies and an RBI ground out. Yordan Alvarez had the other RBI and a sac fly down the left field line. Inside 1-1. 50% strike so far for Blake Taylor. 20 pitches, 10 in the zone, 10 out of the zone. This one sent to center field, should be the ball game. Siri goes back on it, has room and puts it away. Astros win the first game of this 9-game road trip 5-0. A 3-hit combined shutout. Justin Verlander, 8 innings of 1-hit baseball. A couple of infield hits in the 9th against Blake Taylor and Blummer. That is now 8 in a row for the Astros, and they set the tone early in this road trip.
They did set the tone early, and it was good to see them go out and play very good defense behind Justin Verlander, pitching to contact, using the defense behind him. Then just a great team win all the way around on offense, stringing together some hits, getting some key walks. They worked the count on Joe Ryan, eventually got to that bullpen, and then put the Minnesota Twins away.
Twins leave their first 2 runners on base in the 9th inning. The Astros now with 4 shutouts in the last 8 games, going back to the first game of that last homestand. Coming up next, it'll be our Astros post-game show presented by Whataburger. Kevin Eschenfelder and Brian Bogusevic are your hosts tonight. They will have all the highlights and analysis of this one. It'll be heavy on Justin Verlander. You've got to imagine Julia Morales with interviews as well. Astros post-game show presented by Whataburger right around the corner. Astros win 5-0.